All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Everybody watching on Twitch, everybody watching on Mixer. How's it going? Welcome back to a Legendary Action. You know, it seems like it was just last Friday, yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, the week goes by pretty quick sometimes. I don't know if you guys know this, but well, it does for me at least. I don't know about the rest of you, but
Yeah, lucky you.
yeah, it goes by pretty quick for
It
me.
felt like the
Every
longest
time
fucking
travel.
week in a while.
Yeah, it's long weeks for some
yeah.
of the people's here. But you know, thank you for joining us. Thanks for watching. We're excited to have you here with us tonight. I don't know. I think I don't have anything really to go over. Oh, actually, shirts.
Oh yeah.
We keep talking about them. We ordered a test sample of some of our shirt products that we're looking at putting our logo on and stuff, and maybe some other logos, designs. We have a test batch coming in this
Saturday.
Saturday, and then maybe like a month after that we might start
Like
getting
tomorrow.
out shirts.
Correction. This Saturday after this Saturday.
So next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Yeah. So next week they'll be coming in, and we'll check them out. We'll see how the material is, how all the screens and the logo ends up looking, and then we will look at adding shirts. And we're talking about running a promotion where the first 100 shirts sold will all say "first" on the back, so that you know that you were one of the original people to help support us. And then we're also looking at talking about setting up a Patreon in the future, probably in a few months. We just gotta watch the channel grow and see how everything works out. But we have stuff coming down the line, so hopefully, as you guys can share, follow us, you know, bring your friends in to check us out, and especially if you enjoy what we're doing, and just help support us if you enjoy, like all of us. We're just a bunch of unapologetic nerds with little to no remarkable talent, here to just play Dungeons and Dragons and act a fool.
Yeah.
Live in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Some more of a fool than others.
Especially the Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're friends now.
If you don't, or if you are following him, thanks for anybody who's watching. They came over here from OG Scotsman.
Or the Discord.
Or the Discord, because that's where most of you guys came from.
Yep. And thank you for tuning in. And if you don't follow the Special Ginger, I suggest you go and check him out. He plays a bunch of different games. He's been on a Siege run the last few months. He picked up Blackout recently. He's been playing Call of Duty, but he plays a variety of different stuff. We're going to be doing Battlefield.
Here on the 15th?
Yeah, on the 15th of
I'll
next
be
month.
pre-ordering
or so.
it early, of course.
Yeah, so he'll be streaming a lot of Battlefield 5 next month. But
And there'll definitely be broken friendships between everyone in this room when Smash Bros.
yeah, when
Oh,
Smash
yeah.
Bros. Comes out, we'll have an extreme stream.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
they can beat each other up.
Oh yeah, I'm
live.
gonna beat the shit out of everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she sounds very verbose, but she actually apparently has a reputation. So I'm nervous.
Kirby.
She's
name.
She's really good at Smash Brothers for some reason. I don't understand it. It's one of the only games that she can beat me at for any reason. So.
Every
It's such
squirrel
And
finds you
that's
now.
it. She can't beat me at Street Fighter. No other fighting game. Just Smash Brothers for some reason. I don't understand.
You know
That's
it's true because you could hear the pain in his voice.
Well, that's because
Smash Brothers.
like,
She
my
stalks
family-
my fox to death.
my family, like we all about that Smash Bros.
I'd be willing to play and lose with all of you.
You gotta
We'll run
understand.
a stream. We'll set up all the cameras. We'll run
I can't stream from
Stream.
home.
As
Yeah.
a
So
as a
Yeah,
child,
here.
it would be.
No, we'll do it here. We'll all set up the cameras.
Oh,
We'll
all
play
right.
in
Well,
person.
but as a child, all of us up here in of our social group in Reno would hang out in the summers when Smash Bros. First came out, and Andy was the guy who came in from out of town and just wiped the floor with everybody. So if man is better than him, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I don't understand it.
And
I used to be pretty good, but these new ones I haven't played ever, so.
Well, you know, we gotta deal with Nintendo's weird controllers, Nintendo.
Hey, we're all have pro controllers. You're going to be fine.
Oh,
You know.
hey, we can't mention Nintendo.
Oh,
I
no.
can't say
Banned.
the name.
That's
Banned.
a big word.
Bring it.
Banned already. Banned. Thanks.
Banned.
All this is.
Oh,
all
look
this
at that.
is
Stream went down.
I mean, other than controllers, though, your games are really good.
They're good.
Hey, we're on Mixer, dude. Microsoft will bitch slap them.
We're, we're also on
Yeah,
Twitch.
what are you gonna do, Nintendo? Like, what are you gonna do? Fight with Microsoft? Whatever, dude. They'll buy your company. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it works.
You're right.
but-
Let us dream.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Let
and
us
then
feel-
we should do a shout out to the Beard family. Hi,
Yeah,
Beard
Beard
family.
family.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Same here.
For the record, you don't have to have a beard to be a part of this bearded family. It's
But
a
it does
mentality, a state of mind, a lifestyle, if you will.
Look, they said it wasn't required, but then I got a threatening note.
It was like a cease to desist.
A strongly worded letter.
It was heavily implied.
Heavily implied.
But no, thanks for them. Jexodus, Britmar, Thrash Panda, Insanity Central. All those guys are really great. They're over on Mixer. Some of them have a presence on Twitch, but I don't know if their screen names are exactly the same. But if you get a chance to check them out, you're trying to build up sparks for our interactives. They're an excellent channel to watch, even though we only stream once a week. You know, you want to build up those sparks and be entertained, check some of those guys out. They're all pretty great.
But actually, speaking of streaming, though, we did discuss rerunning the prior episode to the beginning of starting our new episodes on Friday nights. So if you missed like last week's episode and you haven't checked out, caught it on YouTube or on our video on demand, then you might be able to just catch it and watch it all the way through before the new episode begins. So we're discussing starting that as well. So that's related to Sparks and stuff because I know that we're only on for like 4.5 hours a night, so we don't stream 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, or 5 days a week. So there's less opportunity to get Sparks just watching us. If we run it that way live, then you can get Sparks watching the rerun as well. So it'll help even out the amount of time that we're actually won't make that much of it then. But you can watch our reruns on Fridays possibly here in the near future.
And then you're caught up and on the same page as everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. But anybody else? Anything else that anybody wants to bring up?
Shameless
Oh,
plugs.
No
Family,
shameless plugs?
friends.
I mean,
yeah.
I got a shameless plug, so I'm good already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a shout out today,
Yeah.
and that's very special somebody out there. That's my Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
It pulled through.
It pulled through. It has a
Baby.
new engine. It's running great.
That heart transplant, you know.
All hell to V4. So
Wow, no one else at this table is going to say it, so I'll do it, guys. We're all very touched,
Yeah.
thank you.
deep down. Like
Thank you.
From the
we're so glad it
very
worked out.
bottom
Yeah.
of my heart.
That
Yeah.
means, that
Look-
means a lot from
Look, if
friends.
we had lost the war boy, life wouldn't have been the same.
It's the
Yeah.
war box.
For the record,
I know
that's
it
what he
wouldn't have been the
calls his
same for
Jeep.
Mike. You wouldn't have been getting rides to go nowhere, dude.
Yeah, you know, our Warhammer games are definitely lacking there for
No.
2 months.
They were like solid sadness. I had no one else. I had nothing else to do. I was like, what do I do now? Pardon me while I
I
log
have
into
no
my
idea
Discord.
I had a V4.
But
Yeah, it's
No.
it's a serious engine.
it's hard to believe.
Dude, I
P4
thought they
won a war,
had
right?
a bigger engine in them. I never would have known that a Jeep had a V4 in it.
What are you applying, Lucian? About my engine.
I'm
It just-
implying
it
that
just
my
can't-
little
it
car can't do half as much as your Jeep can, and it has a V6.
Well,
All right. Well, I mean, those
It doesn't make any goddamn sense to me, is what I'm saying.
Well, those are facts, all right, and luckily they're not insults.
Well, with that being said, I think we can get into tonight's episode of Legendary Action.
let's do it.
We'll run the intro and see you guys in a moment.
We're back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So, last week was a pretty straightforward week. You guys attacked the Goblin and Bugbear encampment in Deep Canyon Pass. You had an intense battle. You slayed Zabrak, the leader of the Bugbears, killing him and scattering the rest of the surviving goblins to run through the wilderness and survive on their own for however long you will.
Yeah, killed him good.
You then split the treasure, which came with a bunch of skepticism when Finley went first and took a whole bunch of stuff he wanted, especially from our bard, who is
Thrifty.
a straight-up metagamer. And was obsessed with figuring out what the items were. He didn't
Same
find out.
here.
That's part of mine.
You then headed back to Greencrest, where you took a night of rest, got all your things in your things in order, and then you then went and checked in with Eladio, the captain of the guard of the Greencrest militia, and he informed you of an interesting character, this dwarf who's been hounding him for the past few days, trying to get him to spare troops to go look for her missing brother. You then took it upon yourselves to follow her, find her, and talk to her about what was going on. After a brief interaction, you got the gist of what was happening, and she explained that, like, her brother had gone missing and that Eladio's an idiot and he should help you out because this den mother, this especially old hag that her and her brother have been hunting for a really long time, is just going to get stronger and stronger and grow her influence in the region and going to end up becoming a much bigger problem for the Central Vale as a whole. And so in Vanna's alchemy shop, you're having this discussion with this dwarf, and that's where we picked up.
So,
Yeah.
so about this hag.
Yeah, definitely starting off the conversation here on a very heavy note. And doom.
Mm-hmm.
But
Everlasting doom.
I stand by my position.
yeah, it was
I want to make sure everything's working.
Melfity.
We shouldn't plan on fighting the hag, but it is in the same direction as those bandits. And
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Seems
definitely
bad.
shouldn't plan on
Suddenly seems brighter.
Well,
fighting the hag
I agree.
unless you. I turn to the dwarf and I say, unless you have some sort of strategy or plan that gets around fighting a hag, because it's a fucking hag. They have magic and shit.
Yeah, you've been hunting them for like 80 years. Surely you had a plan when you caught up.
Well, our plan as it stands was to bash her face in with them all until she's dead.
Fuck me, that's my type of plan.
Anything else? Any anti-hag bullshit?
You don't need nothing more than that. That's good. Man, the fucking boulder idea worked out. Fucking, this
I'm
one's
just-
fucking gold too.
I'm just a little hesitant on getting hit with a lightning bolt coming from a disgusting green thing.
Well, what about the important thing? Where would your brother be? Like, would it be natural for your brother to be running away? Because I'm pretty good at finding things. Maybe your brother could be something I could find.
Is her brother a Blinky?
No. He might have a blinky.
I'm just still trying to figure out what these Blinkies are.
Unfortunately, I mean, I have my weapon, he has his, and we have our. I mean, I don't. You don't look like the sort that's really planning on fighting one head on, and most of you don't look like you even have gear capable of dealing with her. But I got my magic armor and potions, and I mean, brother and I have been. We're a little versed in her tricks and her trickery and her illusions and such. We know what to look for, but any more than that, it's just been. We really never know what to expect every time we approach her. Unfortunately, the lead that my brother was following on took him far away from into the Central Vale at some point, and we were supposed to meet here, but obviously he didn't. And this was days ago. But there's really not much more that I can really go over. She's dangerous and old as I've ever seen a hag get, hundreds of years old possibly, and she's. Between me brother and our allies, we've probably killed a dozen other hags tracking her down and trying to get to the center of her her power and corner her in some place, but she always manages to slip out, hiding or using some unforeseen method of escape. Or one time she trapped us inside her den and set the place on fire while we were inside. We barely escaped by breaking through the roof.
So, has there been any time in the past that one of you has been taken? Like, what's to say she actually took him and didn't, this lead he was following didn't just leave him dead in a gutter somewhere, robbed?
Well, it's definitely a concern of mine. I'm not really sure. It's possible. It's possible that she even set the lead and dangled it out there, hoping that one of us would grab onto it and she can get us. I mean, hags are disgusting and filthy fey creatures. They kill and eat small children and whatever they can get their hands on.
So do you think your brother would even be being held captive, or you've studied these strange creatures, like maybe...
Well, I don't know if he's captive or not.
Oh. So...
I don't know where he is, or I just know he hasn't shown up here.
You've misplaced your brother, so rule out everywhere. Rule out the hag first. Don't look everywhere else.
I mean, for all I know, he's stuck up, wounded and dying in some cave somewhere, or some small hole in the ground, and he's just barely hanging on, or maybe he's been captured by goblins or orcs or minotaurs. I don't really know. I just wanted to be able to scout the region outside of me on a small pace, very short.
Well, we did deal with a bunch of goblins and bugbears, so they might be out of the picture.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, at least we don't have to deal with goblins and bugbears. Magical witches in the forest shouldn't be a problem then.
The real trouble with hags is the fact that she has any kind of allies, or maybe she's trying to build a new coven again. There might be other hags that are coming to her. Den mothers have a way of kind of drawing extra power to them and making weaker hags, bend to their will, considering how ancient they are and how much wisdom or knowledge they've accumulated.
What is your brother's name?
My brother's name is Rangrim.
Was that Rangrim?
Rangrim.
Rangrim.
Does he have any noticeable scars? Is he taller than you? Does he
He's
have
bigger than I am a tad bit. He looked just as worn and tore as I am. Graying beard and hair. He's much older than I am.
Does he have something noticeable? So if we find something that he might have left behind to try and give you a hint, would he leave like breadcrumbs, or would he leave, torches?
No, I wasn't meant to follow him up, so I can't imagine he'd leave any kind of a trail. He was supposed to meet me here in Greencrest.
Well, you guys don't have a safe thing.
Any family heirlooms that he holds on his person?
Well, our not necessarily family heirlooms, but our armor smith in Ungarth in the Citadel, and would be smith with our family crest, with the hammer striking a metal object.
Well, we better hope he's not missing his armor.
Is would there be something we could tell him or say to him that would let him know that we are on his that we're friends?
Like a code word.
Yes, something that you would say if you guys ever separated and need to meet back up.
Like a dwarf chant.
We're here with Melfney. Isn't that gonna be enough?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they've.
If he's in dire straits, I think he'd take to anybody who would show up to offer him any kind of kindness. We don't have any safe words or nothing. We're never normally separated for longer than a couple of days. Sometimes he rides ahead to check out things, and I meet up with him later at the designated spot.
So then, you're aware he was going to meet this contact. Is there any kind of...
I don't know if it was a contact. I said it was the lead.
Or lead. Any details on this lead at all? Or he's just like, I'll just see you later. If I don't come back, love you, sis.
He's always been better at tracking down the signs of hags and such, and we had believed that she may have fled to this region after our last encounter, and we're not. He was coming to check out the region to see if there were any effects, or normally you've seen an abundance of different creatures like frogs and salamanders and snakes and things in the region, dense fogs that come without warning. All these things are regional effects of a den mother and her magic. Normally, once we see these kinds of effects, we kind of hunker down for a time being and begin our hunt, search outwards to find a den.
Well, as you know, hags are, well, hags. So, what did you really expect the city guard to do? Form an army and go out there?
That's what they should do, if they're smart.
Well, you know, there's that situation. Well, you may not know. There's dirty elves in the woods attacking.
No,
all
the
that
point
stuff.
years aren't my fucking trouble. I could care less. Listen, whatever else is going on around here, political wise and such, it doesn't really matter. Because once this den mother sinks her fingers into the region and begins manipulating people and building up her servants again, you're going to start to see children and elderly people start to disappear from this town at rates that nobody's ever seen before. And then she'll disappear into the wild again after accumulating her strength and feeding. And then we won't see her again for another maybe 5 to 10 years or so. And when she'll do it again to another town.
Yeah. So.
I mean, there's a chance that because of her shape-shifting abilities, if she is nearby in the Troll Call Mires or in some other area that's more suitable to her kind of living conditions, then there's a possibility she's already been in town and you may have actually even met her in person and not even known.
But they gotta smell like swamp, right?
No, they
Nasty.
shape-shift. And not only that, but she can cast invisibility.
That's not pleasant.
Kind of fun.
Well, it looks like we have
Mhm.
two options. Go fight an impossible witch in the woods. Deal with these traders in the ruins. You know,
You know what I'm hearing?
Do both.
That there's a witch in the woods who feeds on the weak, and I'm not a target.
I don't know. You did have to buy male enhancement.
I will fucking.
So now he kind of like crosses her arms in front of her, and she kind of walks up and looks at you all. And no, your friend is wrong. You're all targets.
Oh shit.
I mean, generally speaking, if even the 6 of you or the 7 of us met her in person, the 6 of you would just be a hindrance to myself and my brother, and you'd most likely be killed immediately. You wouldn't even probably make it past her guards or past her traps. You don't have the experience or the know-how.
So,
You've fought an enemy like this before.
so the job is just to find the brother, or where he might have
I
gone.
don't know, you approached me, I was wondering what you had in mind.
I think we should at least find the brother.
I don't think this is any of our business. We were just told it's over our head. I believe her.
I mean, I appreciate the concern, and it's good to see that there are fellow individuals and adventurers in the town who would be willing to help. But at this time, at this moment, I'm better off either looking for him by myself, or waiting till people who are maybe more experienced come along. Maybe I'll reach out to one of the larger guilds and see if they might be able to send assistance. She won't leave for a while. She'll be temporarily weakened. She'll have to find food and build shelter and.
So the most useful thing we can do is bring more town guard back to town. Keep things safer.
It would make it harder for her to move uncontested if she has, in fact, even made it into town.
and
Even
you're,
if she can innately cast invisibility and move without being seen, she will make sound and noise. And eventually she will have to strike at somebody. The more eyes that are in the city streets at night or during the day, it'll make it far more difficult for her to move uncontested through the town.
so you're saying she was weakened? Is that as a result of you and your brother's work, or?
Oh yeah, we almost had her last time. I told you she collapsed the entire building in on us on fire on herself and disappeared. But
Oh.
she took a nasty gash to the side and was bleeding out when she fled. But they healed rather quickly. So that was only a month or so ago, 2 months ago at this point.
So, yeah,
Sounds like we know what we need to do now.
yeah, absolutely nothing. Stay the hell away from her.
Exactly. We go free up some town's guard by taking care of the smuggling ring.
Listen, we can't stop the fucking wood elves. We can't stop the fucking hag. Alright, so.
Let's-
Yeah.
We need an army. Let's go free up some hands.
So at this point, Vanna
You
comes
know
out
what
of
I'm
her back
saying.
room.
Stop
She's
it.
like, "Oh, I didn't know I had customers. I thought I heard a ruckus out front, but I didn't know I had customers. It just so happens. Oh, it's you individuals. I did stock more health potions, so I have 3 more of those in stock. If you'd be interested.
I'm interested.
Same
Very
price,
much
25
interested.
gold,
Yes.
25 gold.
I'll take them all.
She doesn't.
Please.
She doesn't finish. There's 75 gold on the table already.
Yeah, so you just go and drop it on the table. She
So-
collects it and she gives the 3 healing potions, the light red
I give one
liquid on the inside.
2 to the barbarian.
I take them.
I hold up the favor.
And I did finish analyzing the alchemical components of the false potion.
I do not have one.
It's a cocktail of different magical ingredients, and its effects could range from anything from losing your taste blood to blindness to deafness to and all effects are temporary and they disappear over time.
Tasting lemon.
That's an interesting one. I didn't quite consider that.
It's only lemon. It's actually kind of entertaining.
Interesting. Is there anything else that I might commission for you at the moment? Anything else in particular that you might be looking for?
Yeah, I got a question because I totally forgot. I take out that stick. Oh, yo, was this supposed to be a message or sending?
It was sending.
message. It was message.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah, it's
message.
I didn't think it was that good.
No, it was message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because it's something I can cast.
Yeah.
It was message. Yeah, it was message. Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
Anything anyone else might need?
Well, what else do you have? You said you restocked. Any new potions other than the healing?
No, not really. Nothing extra. No. I said I restocked the healing potions for your request.
Yeah, just
Oh.
keep that.
Again. Do it more.
You have a loyal customer base.
Basically, as often as you can.
Yeah, I can probably make 3 or 4 about every week or so.
Great.
In between commissions and such.
Mm.
And I might be able to increase that volume over the course of a month or so, and maybe even upgrade them. It really just depends on the flow and the demand form. If you can fill that demand, then I can probably increase my orders from Anvil and get more material components.
As long as we have work, we can fill that demand.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So,
You have anything for, if you heard the ruckus, you might have heard the whole, her brother, my opponent over the dwarf, his brother is kidnapped supposedly by a evil witch in the woods. Do you have anything? It's a bit of a niche request, but do you have anything for that, like some herbs or something that keep witches away?
No, I'm not familiar with anything that would do that.
Or like a cat's foot or something, or a shrine or a talisman or anything, or just evil spirits or something.
No, I mean, if you have a divine members in connection with the gods, then maybe protection from evil or protection from creatures.
Oh, so you're saying only God can help? Dang it! All right. Well, yeah, that was what I was needing to prep for. I'm not afraid at all. Anyway.
and one question, if possible, is there a blacksmith you would recommend around town? Or an armorer, I should say.
Quite possibly. It depends. What are you looking for?
Well, I would like some half plate, honestly.
I'm not really familiar with when you
Half plate. Basically just a larger plate chest piece to fit under the rest of my armor, to provide more armor towards the center of my chest.
He got really beat up in the last fight.
It definitely did get stabbed through the chest.
I think he's scared about getting stabbed again.
It's quite painful.
Yeah, getting stabbed hurts.
Yeah, you deal with it. It's part of fighting.
Yes, but if I can buy something that helps prevent it, why not?
Well, yeah, but
You have a shield, don't you?
yeah, I have a shield. It's really effective.
It's the same thing. I'm just putting a shield on my chest.
Well, I recommend first off, that half plate is a little light. I recommend chainmail. I lean in on the counter next to you. I put my large frame as I break it down for you. I recommend chainmail right off the bat. That's gonna really help out. Big strong shield. I slap it down on the table, and I recommend a good side shield. All right, man, this thing is gonna make you a tank on the battlefield.
I'm a duelist, sir. I don't use a shield.
Listen, drop a sword, pick up a shield. Trust me, this is gonna work out.
I only use
Grab your arm. Look at that arm.
Yes. Yes, I hold one sword.
No, that thing's gonna hold a shield. Ain't that right, you thought?
Yeah.
Shield.
I cast magic, gentlemen. I can't do that.
Well, it really sounds like you need to make up your mind. Either you're gonna fight or you're gonna ooga booga.
I'm gonna ooga booga and fight. That it's a thing I can do.
No, we're gonna deal with shenanigans.
Listen,
Shenanigans.
Listen, the last
I
thing,
don't know what that means.
the last thing you're gonna need for protection,
Heard some pirates.
and I
say
get
it.
out my holy symbol, and that's faith.
No.
For
See,
good and evil, mainly evil.
well, see. Then I reach in and I pull out a symbol of Tamora. See, what I need is more luck from Tamora.
Now you need more faith.
I'm going.
Luck.
Shield of faith.
It's all right. Taiki.
It's a Skyrim.
Yeah, I know. My brain was like, well, Taiki. I need
I
more
would
luck
wait
from
for
it. Maybe I did get hit harder in the head than I thought because I forgot names. It's Taiki. I need more luck from Taiki.
Yo, chainmail. Yo,
Plate.
we can go. No, chainmail. We can go get it in your size. Don't even worry. We're gonna get it now.
What,
They
why-
don't get it.
what,
Yo,
what
you
do you
two
have?
racking?
What do you have against plate?
I have nothing against plate.
Why can't they-
Chainmail's fantastic.
It's weaker than
Louis? Oh, Louis?
plate.
Yeah, we getting you chainmail too. Lucian, we getting you chainmailed up as well.
I do not need that much armor.
I don't think I can. My body
It's so
can bear
heavy.
that.
Listen, it's gonna be tough in the beginning for you weaker body types.
Actually,
Alright, but you know, you'll be walking around a little slow, but protected, well protected.
Don't think that would help me actually.
It's gonna help. You saw me. Everybody saw
Look,
me.
look
out
at this. Look at this puny human. He just needs to stay in a library or something.
or was there a leatherer around? Because I could also do with some studded leather as well.
That's a 10.
Like me.
Tanner, thank you.
Tanner,
Thank
a
you.
leather
Thank
river.
you.
Me.
A leatherer.
A leather river.
A
As
person
I
who
show
makes
my
leather
studded leather.
that goes
And-
on leather
anyway.
armor.
Tanner.
Leather.
Yeah, that's a tanner. I guess you could say leather worker, but
Leather.
Yeah, yeah, that would be
See, for a bard, you think I'd be better with words. Apparently, I'm not.
no.
Oh, bards are fine with words.
some bard.
But yeah, yes.
Yes, I recommend studded leather. I'll show you my studded leather.
I don't need armor.
Yeah, you just stay in the back.
It won't
lines.
do me any good.
Just keep doing your fire
Sorry, I had
hand
to reopen
thing.
the sheet.
My booga
yes,
booga.
Yes. Most people in town, from what I understand, they just use Bristons.
Burstons.
Bristons.
Briston.
Yes, Bristons.
Bristons.
And where is that located in town?
No, that's right down the road over there. It's hard to miss.
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure we walked by it, actually. I could lead us there if need be. I believe I remember where it is.
Yeah, either Briston himself or his daughter Hannah will be there, one or the other.
Works for me. Anything else, gentlemen? Before we do stuff?
No.
And maybe. Sorry.
Thank you.
I'm finished here.
I
I
felt
have
the
my,
glare.
my potions. Stick them in my bag. I got, these are really good to have in a fight. Good to fall back on.
Absolutely.
Anyways, anything more in the matter of the arcana I might be able to help you with.
Ooh.
Do you have any more? Did you restock items as well, or just the healing potions?
I mean,
Anything new?
no, nothing new has really fallen into my inventory. I have what I have in the store, and it's normally what sells, other than what gets commissioned. And most of the time, people commission things like ever-burning lamps and sundials and stuff, or clocks that always can tell the right time.
Actually, I do have one thing. There's probably you folks will probably think it's stupid, but back in the tribe, we're looking for a lot of shit. And back in the tribes, some of the elders, the ones that were really in touch with the spirits, they had these sticks, and they would channel, I think it was magic, and it would help them find things like water, people, just stuff they're looking for.
A divine.
Can you make that kind of thing? Like, I don't really know how to use them, but could you maybe show me or make a pair?
I mean, I might be able to. It would take a little bit of research and time in developing some sort of a schematic in order to find the right kind of magic, and then I have to commission it I might have to commission it from another artificer to help put some of the pieces in place, but I might be able to do the work.
That's the way you're wording it makes it sound far more complicated and expensive than I previously thought.
I mean, it depends on what you want these. What do you want them to locate?
Like a missing dwarf or something.
That's pretty specific.
I don't know, like. Well, you gotta understand, they could find like anything.
Something of that nature isn't possible in such a short time. And I don't even believe it's possible at all. For one thing, in order for magic like that to work, you have to be at least familiar or intimately familiar with who it is and what it is that you're looking for, enough that the locate object spell that will be enchanted into it can find it.
Oh. Well.
So if you've seen this individual before, then possibly, but I mean, it would still take weeks worth of work just to get the material components together.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar, and I just saw them do it a couple times, so it was just an idea. Never put a pin in that. Thank you anyway.
Well,
What you were saying?
how much would it cost for just a regular commission?
It depends on what you're commissioning.
Oh, you don't have a flat rate for
No.
commissions. It's based
No,
on
it's normally half down for the total work and the other half upon completion of the work.
Okay. I wouldn't have funds for that at this moment, but
It
I was
depends on
curious
what
for
you're
the future.
commissioning.
I would be looking for a handy haversack.
Yeah, up front, we're looking at about 500 gold pieces up front to find the material components, to get the schematic together, to get some of the items done from. I probably have to send a messenger to Anvil or Breathorpe in order to get some of the more rare components together. But overall, I could probably produce one in a few weeks.
Well, I don't currently have the funds for it, so I will keep that in mind for the future. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
You've been a delight.
All right.
We're good.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Did you happen to bring more?
The Malfnee's been standing there like minding her
I
own
didn't think
business.
about it.
She's just kind of like. So in conclusion.
Oh yeah.
No, you were rude to us.
Look, if you happen to run across in your exploration and moving through about your time, and you happen to come across the sign of him, sure, bring it back to me and let me know. I'd be more than happy to take a look at whatever it is, your findings that you've come across. It'll help me out immensely. But I would avoid going and actually confronting this hag.
Yeah, sounds wise.
I would too.
Very, very wise.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've mentioned it. I don't think any of you have asked, but her name is Grenda, so keep an eye out for her.
Grenda the Hag. Does she like it when we call her Grenda the Hag?
Hags aren't normally dissuaded by their titles, and I'm sure among other hags she has her own set of different names. That's what we've always known her as.
Yeah, I don't really plan on running into a hag, but I'm probably not going to address her kindly. I'm going to get the fuck out of there.
Nobody really plans on running into a hag.
I don't really think. I think it's safe to assume if we run into a hag, we can just assume it's Grenda.
Well,
Get
what
the
if
fuck
Grenda-
out of there.
What if Grenda has a twin sister?
Named Brenda.
Named
Oh,
Flenda.
then we're in deep shit, and we need to get out of there anyway.
What if
Let's
she's a
not
nice
stick
hag?
around to ask for their names.
What if she's a nicer hag?
In my past experience in tracking her, she normally likes to take the form of
dragon?
of attractive and youthful dark-haired women for the most part when she's trying to blend in their height. So
Careful, boys.
Black-haired.
Careful, boys. I mean, all of you.
I don't like black hair.
Careful,
Right.
boys.
Attractive, black-haired, young
Well,
woman.
we're all entitled to be
About what
wrong.
age?
but aside from
Yeah,
that,
Mr. Scholar.
yeah, thank you for your concern. If you come across anything, just let me know. But I came in here to buy some specific items and commission something from the artificer here. So
Just shake her hand, please.
Business.
She won't stop.
So she shakes your hand.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure getting to know you. If you ever need anything, luminous tear.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
I will guarantee we will find your brother. I'm good at finding things.
No.
If you do, that's great, but if I doubt you will.
We can't
By the way,
guarantee.
it's thought that counts.
Yeah. All right. I think we got some shit we got to do if we want to catch up with some of the other work we're contracted for.
Absolutely.
I have
So she
them
turns and she
proper
starts
banded
discussing
up.
something with Lana and her at the table. Once you guys leave the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So you guys leave the shop, you go outside. It's a busy day, just like it was before. All the stalls are open. The market it's bristling. Most of the town's out and about, just doing their shopping.
Shit, anything like candies and stuff? Anything sweet to eat? Yeah. On market stalls?
Make a perception check.
Huh.
Greencrest seems
Oh,
like a
God,
utilitarian
Could have
town.
been like a smell check. No, I don't want to do a smell.
Hit it.
It's
Bakery.
none of it's good. 4.
I think you remember seeing like a small bakery in town, but that's about it. You remember looking through the window and seeing that there were like breads and stuff on the inside, but nothing that screamed like exotic sweets or candies.
What about just some like meat on a stick? Like meat on like a kebab or like not a dirty ear kebab or a snap kebab, but like
In a larger city, there probably would be stalls like that in
It's
the market
just
square,
too
so that
small.
people can eat while they shop and bargain and barter and stuff. But since it's such a small town and such a small market, then probably not.
probably better off just going back to the inn if I want good food, huh?
Yeah, it'd be close if you were in maybe Anvil or Breathitt, possibly they might have stalls like that. But Greencrest is just a tad bit shorter by a few thousand people.
Copy. Yeah, so
Just a few thousand.
how about we head back to the Dusty Dog, get a bite to eat, and discuss our plans.
I'd prefer to stop by Bristine's on the way, just in case I have to commission Bristine's.
Briston's.
Well,
Just
we're-
in case I have to commission.
We're on a
one.
bit of
Fair
a
enough.
deadline to catch the Greyjacks
Yes.
during a drop.
Wasn't it,
Yes.
out of character, wasn't it tomorrow we had to leave by? Or was it
It's,
today?
it's 5
Today.
days from
5
now,
days.
3 days the green day, 1 day.
We had
We
a
had a
day
day to
rest, which we
prepare,
did.
and then we
We took a rest.
We
So
took a rest,
we have
yeah,
to
so
leave
we-
by today.
have to leave today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I honestly don't think we have time to stop for food, actually.
I got stuff.
Yeah.
Well, if we ride hard.
Oh,
True. So,
I could
I
probably
have plenty
take
of food.
some.
Well, if we walk hard.
Walk hard.
Walk fast. I guess
Oh.
jog, I guess.
we walk a lot.
I have
Down
plenty of
a
food,
rocky
and
road.
my grandfather actually taught me how to hunt. Light stuff, nothing too
I know
Oh,
how to
no.
hunt too.
If we're traveling, we should probably go to where they have all the horses in the building.
Stable?
A stable.
Yeah, one of those.
A stable.
A stable. We should probably
A stable.
get us some rides, or maybe the guard can help us out with that.
I mean, yeah, both are good options. I
Well.
would still prefer to stop by the leather worker and pick up something that's more helpful than this. I took on a cloth.
Well, yeah, we should probably talk to Emilio, see if we can get a deal, and you can get us hooked up quick.
Gladio.
Eladio, yeah.
Emilio.
Emilio.
Yeah, so we should probably go talk to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Good talk, Riken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
head for the
Riken.
stable actually. Does anybody want to come? Or I can pick up horses for everyone if you want to give me cash.
Oh,
But
I'll
I'm
come
going
with the ponies.
How much is a horse?
I don't know about the market here, but
Oh.
usually it's somewhere between 70 and 100 gold.
You think they'll just rent it to us?
Yes, you can come. You're
Yeah.
an adult. I don't
Okay.
need to give you permission for this.
Well, you asked,
Wait,
and I'm offering.
that brings up a good point. Are you an adult?
Yeah. 25.
Oh.
We
Older than I
age
thought.
the
Never
same.
mind.
We age the same way as humans do.
You just kind of act 8. I
That's
wasn't
okay.
sure.
That's
But,
okay.
you know, never mind, it doesn't matter.
Studied tabaxi, but not like that. I don't know how to differentiate how old one looks.
so they're all the same.
All I see is fur.
That's not what I meant.
I know.
No, I guess when their
I
fur
meant it's hard
turns
to
gray.
tell how old they are.
So I reach out and I pull out
Listen, it's not going to be like a luxurious horse, just something to ride.
I pull out
I come.
10 gold, just in case inflation.
Like
If,
most of
if
the
it's
women
more,
have been.
I'll give you what you need to pay.
Okay.
But there's 110 gold. Find me a horse,
Now,
preferably one with
Lucian.
Your
gray
laugh
hair.
broke me.
Lucian.
It's my only request. I'm picky.
I mean, if you're going with them, here's 100 gold for my share. Or 125. You were saying
I
125?
I feel very strange
Do you
receiving
want to
money.
become an armorer?
No,
Okay.
you're gonna go with
Can't
him.
afford it.
What exactly are you going for?
I can't afford anything better than what I'm already wearing.
What are you wearing?
Well, I'm wearing mostly robes, but I pull open one of the buttons. There's a chain shirt under.
I think Phelan.
Yeah, I never actually saw you get hit, so.
Yeah,
We
I've
never
never actually
know.
He
been.
tries.
Never actually been hurt in battle yet, so I feel like I'm winning either way.
Yeah, you,
Well, he likes
see,
having-
he stands in the back and does the ooga booga stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that.
All right. So Theo here gave me some money. Anyone else? You?
I passed mine to Lumi.
How much was it?
125.
125.
Yeah, don't rip me off, Riken.
I'll be heading to
You would be the one.
Bristons.
I
Is
would.
anyone
never.
accompanying me?
Yeah, I'll go to
'Cause
Bristol.
I feel like if I ripped you off of money, you'd like rip off an arm or something. I don't need that.
That's an appropriate
No, it's
assumption.
okay. If we need to run, I'll run.
All right, so I'll go with you. To the
Well,
letter.
frankly, if one of us
Guess
is
that.
buying a horse, we're all buying a horse. So it's less an option and more a hand me some gold and I'll buy you your horse.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Do you know
Gold?
100 gold?
No, I didn't
Were you
win
buying horses or
500
were you
in a
renting
pulling
horses?
event.
Buying.
I didn't win 500. I won 300 and gave 200 to
Just
the-
riding.
I
horse.
didn't win
Yeah.
300 either.
Give you 100.
I won 0.
Your basic like run of the mill horse is gonna be like 75 GP for the most part.
I pull out reluctantly a little bit more gold and give it to you. This is for the poor bastard who
All right. Well, didn't we just bring in a haul from those goblin hordes? Where'd
That's
all
what
that
I
money
thought.
go? Who's holding the goblin horde money? We're gonna take money from his
I don't know.
money
was
out of
only,
his cut.
Yeah.
It was
was
mostly
only-
copper.
it was
like,
only a
it was
few
like
gold.
1,000 copper.
It was like 10
But there
gold.
was 200 gold pieces in it.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
thought,
gonna take.
I thought there
I
was like
haven't.
10 gold.
I'll take a
It was
piece
like
of that.
200 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe you already tried to split it.
Didn't
up.
come through my hands.
We were all furiously
Catholic, I
jotting
have
down money. So since the tabaxi finds all the stuff, so here's what we should decide: who's gonna be the group treasurer?
That's
The
probably a
tabaxi
good idea. Are you guys
keeps
gonna
all
do
the
your,
stuff.
Are you guys gonna do a
But-
party fund like you did last time?
Yeah,
Party
but
I think we should, yeah.
And donate like 10%.
It's a
of
lot
whatever you guys-
easier, but
Yeah.
but Riken is very diligent. So
I say Riken is
Klepto
your treasurer.
or the
He is
diligent
the
one.
scholar.
The diligent.
She'll have everything, but he'll know what's there.
Yeah, exactly. She will be the keeper of stuff, and he will be the knowledge of stuff in her.
He'll know how
I'll
much
keep
is
the
on
books,
her.
fine. But
You're the math guy.
Alright,
You do
so-
math. Don't make me do math, please.
I'm not doing math.
Hey,
Cooking. I mean, not
math.
cooking. Keeping the book.
Listen, I think.
I'm in on it now. You owe me percentage.
do math.
No.
All right. Hey. So what do you guys?
Yeah.
trying to accomplish right now?
Lumi, I haven't actually gotten a share from you.
Yeah, you gave
For a
him my
horse.
share, but not your money.
I'd like to keep in mind that
How much did you
that
get?
it's not every day that everybody sells like 6 horses, riding horses.
You know, do my best.
So,
I'll do my best, and that's the best I
Worst
can
case
do.
scenario, get a carriage.
Get some,
Carriage.
and then whatever we don't get, we can go over to the
Yeah, if you can't, just get a
captain
wagon.
and
How
try
much
and
did you
look
give me there,
supplement.
Lumi?
375.
Well, all of the gold?
Well, my part 75. The 200 horde gold and my 75.
Oh
And
no, I didn't want all the horde gold. I just
Whoa.
wanted his piece for the horse.
Yeah,
We just pull 75 out of it.
so
Yeah.
150.
You keep it.
150.
Yes.
Another 75.
Math is hard.
Math is hard, guys.
But whatever the stables don't have, we'll try and supplement.
Third grade math.
Not Emilio.
What?
It's a lad.
Eladio.
Like Aladdin.
Yeah, I keep thinking-
Aladino.
I
the
was
real
just-
question is if they don't have enough horses, let's say they have 4, who rides with who. So who actually gets the horses?
I do. I'm doing the work.
I get one because I want one and I'm convinced.
I'm light.
Look at us.
Okay, horse.
Horse.
Share.
Pair up.
Yep.
The little ones can pair up.
The little ones.
The little
Get
ones.
the carriage.
I have to cuddle the cat.
Get the carriage.
A carriage.
You look like a
Carriage is
weirdo.
a
Who
whole
do you know?
other
I promise
expense.
I'm
How
warm.
much is it?
I don't know. I don't know what the market is like around here.
Oh dear Lord of
Yeah.
knowledge.
If you're gonna buy a carriage, probably
A carriage
far
would
more
be
expensive.
expensive.
Than
A
a horse.
cart we might be able
Yes,
to
a
pull
cart.
off.
How much is a cart?
A cop.
The orc can ride the cart.
A small cart, which would slow us down unbelievably, and
Really?
we couldn't go off road like a horse can.
Yeah.
Let's just.
Fine.
If I have to steal a horse, I will steal a horse. I've done it before.
No.
We're getting
No.
paid handsomely for the work we do. We
No.
can afford horses.
Put your hand out.
I don't have hands.
That.
A cart, actually,
I have paws.
given what you could guess about the market, you're looking at about maybe 50 GP to 70.
For a cart, that's not bad.
For a cart?
But a cart's not very big. It's like
You're talking
two
about
people
your
can cram in the
standard
back.
like cart that you use to wheel like some shit from the farm to the market.
Yeah.
A wagon
You can
is a
wheel
little
me.
bit more expensive. You're looking at probably like 100 GP, and this is just in the area, and it is individual sale. It's not like you guys haven't seen anything in Greencrest that would scream like, "We sell carts wholesale," or used cart store.
There's no cart depot?
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
cart depot. So,
Why?
Look, I don't even want to bother with finding a cart or a
No.
carriage. I'm gonna go to as many stables as I can in the next couple of hours while everyone else is doing whatever they need to do.
it might end up being cheaper to rent a cart because you can rent one probably for about a copper a mile or so.
All right, if you really want a
It's
cart,
kind
God.
Wheel ticker.
I will do it. But
It
I'm
does
not.
have a wheel ticker.
I'm not interested in a cart. I'll get everyone a horse. I'll make as many stops to as many stables as I can while you guys are doing it.
Keep in mind, we're trying to not be super obvious. Like when we're coming up on these like smugglers, and we're rolling in with a cart.
Yeah.
Carts get pretty loud.
Yeah, we'll put a blanket over you and say you're like trade goods.
Are you trying to work traffic me?
I'm trying to.
We have slaves. I've dealt with this.
Yes, I'm gonna put you and you in the cart, throw a blanket over you so you look like stuff, and they'll try to rob us, and then we jump up and we kill them.
Why would we go through all
From
that
what
effort?
you've learned about
we
them,
know
they're
where they're gonna
not
be.
they're not bandits.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
smugglers.
Oh.
Yeah, they already have a chain of supply of stuff.
They'd probably be pretty fucking mad that you came on their orc trafficking.
Exactly. They'll come to us, and we just attack them.
Which isn't right.
I'm not orc trafficking. I'm orc hiding. I'm
As in
hiding
keeping
him from his
traffic.
benefit.
Anyway,
Work.
how about we
Work
come up with a
terrorists.
real plan? Ride horses, ride fast. We could be halfway there by now.
Oh, well then let's go.
Or pull
Okay,
out
I have
my
armor
little
in the
watch
back.
that I got from
Yeah,
Lumi.
you do about 30 miles. You do about 30 miles a day, 60. So it's about 96 to 97 miles or so to Warren from
So
here.
96
Come-
copper?
Huh?
Almost one silver, so it'd be about 2 silvers for the two for a day. For a cart.
Okay.
Just get horses.
Good
Yes,
horses.
I'm gonna go get the horses.
Me too.
You guys gather food for a day's travel. It's not that big a deal.
Oh, I'm set.
We managed that, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Great.
I just cough up furballs.
All right.
It's very useful.
You don't
Anyway,
have
come on. Thalen and Alfarius and this little puny guy.
So what do we want to handle first? Do we want to do the horses? Do you want to buy your armor first, and then the rest of the party's gonna do what?
She's accompanying him.
Yep.
We're accompanying him. We're
Okay.
going as a group.
What's Dylan
For
doing?
armor.
Armor, ponies.
Okay.
Armor ponies.
So,
Armor
so
the
let's
ponies.
do the
Armor the
let's do the horses first. So you find a stall where the guy basically this kind of old man in this rundown little space, and he's just like, I got these old field horses. They're not really as good as they are. They get you from point A to point B for maybe a year or so worth of
Look,
use.
as
out
long
of
as they're
them.
trained for the trail, that's all I need.
Yeah, it'll work. How about we set a price at I'll do you a solid. How about we split it at about like 60 gold per horse? These aren't great horses. They're not going to get you over the mountains necessarily if you have to go through any real rough terrain. But for when it comes for traveling the roads from here to there, they're going to do just fine. They still got a couple of years on each of them.
You know what? 50 gold sounds great.
And from what you can see and what you can tell, he's not lying.
Okay.
The
That's what I was gonna
horses,
do.
they definitely have seen better years and they're getting on to the later stages of their life. But you know, he's got 4 of them, and there's this nice older gray mare. There's a nice spotted white and black one, and then there's a black and a brown. So there's about 4 horses. All of them look like they've seen better days, and you can tell that they've worked in the field. But he's recently shoed them, and recently had them trimmed and taken care of. I don't know what that technical term is for like taking care of grooming horse. Yes, groomed.
Sure.
So he's recently had them groomed.
I believe it is groomed.
Mm-hmm.
50 gold sounds perfect.
Sounds good. Do they have names?
Do you want to make a persuasion check, or did
I don't
you
know.
mishear me?
No, I didn't mishear you. I'm
Are you
negotiating.
haggling?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we were on.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were doing.
You did it so casually.
I was about to say make a persuasion check, but I was like, wait, did he just maybe mishear me? So do I need to correct him? Make a
Hey,
persuasion check.
Mr. Casual over here. Holy shit! That's how you know you're doing something right.
Hey, I can live with that.
I thought Riken just had a super high passive persuasion.
I was just like,
Persuasion is
Yeah,
plus
how
5,
high
so
is
we're
my
looking at a
passive
21.
Sure, I'm trying to get rid of him. I need to open up the stalls for more customers. So yeah, 50 gold apiece, that's fine.
Perfect. 200 gold on the table. So,
Riken can
So he goes back, gets all the paperwork together, the bills of sale, gives them to you, each of the horses, the information, their descriptions, and what would that be? What would that be called?
Pedigree?
No, not pedigree, because they're just work horses. They're just field horses. I'm just trying to think.
deed of ownership.
Yeah, it's a deed of ownership. Well, each one of them would have been. I'm trying to think of how they do that. How they change that.
They were they branded and now you need to like show a bill of sale for ownership?
Yeah, they were marked as owners. I'm trying to. Either way, so he gives you the bill of sale, describes the horse's name, and where you bought him from.
Perfect. Alright, since I have a little extra cash,
Hey.
do you have some leather saddlebags, something for, and saddles?
Sure. I toss in all that for each one if you need it for an additional like 5 gold per horse.
Perfect. Another 20 gold then.
Do they have names?
Yeah, they do.
Alright. And thank you for your help, but I'm gonna need 2 more horses. Do you know anyone nearby that might have some more for sale?
I mean, if you go to some of the market stalls, maybe some of the people there might be willing to part with them. But most people use their horses all the time. So
Fair enough. Got another question for you. I don't want to
if
leave.
you go out to the Amanos, to the ranch, I mean, they breed horses, so that'd be your best look.
How far is that on a ride?
You're gonna be heading about, let's say,
in
a day.
hours. Too
Yeah,
long.
it's a day outside
Don't know what
town,
kind of time.
south from here towards Breathart.
All right, tell you what. I'll give you. And you have stable hands around here, yeah?
I pretty much just run the place by myself.
All right. Well, then I'll need you to ride one of the horses and lead. We're going to the Dusty Dog. I don't want to lead 4, so
Okay, sure, I can do that for you.
here's
Because you took them all off my hands at once. Sure, I can do that.
cool. And here's another 2 gold for you, just for you.
Oh, that's mighty generous. Thank you. I'll take care of him. And he goes and gets them all together and starts getting saddles them for you, tests the straps, make sure everything works. They're not the greatest saddles everywhere, but they're good enough. for the
Leather's
time
leather.
being. Yep. So you wanted the names of the horses?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the black one, the large black one, its name is Kaz.
Okay.
And he describes it as like a group leader, so this one it's going to want to be at the front of like all the time.
Okay.
The spotted black and white one is called Rukas. Rukkas. and he warns you guys that he's just not like it. He warns you just not to strain him and don't put anything super heavy. It's kind of a medium-sized horse. It'll wear him out. It might break him on the road.
Okay.
And then what was a brown one, right? It's a dark brown. Bendon. He's really large, and he says for his years he's super smart. So. And what was the last one? White one, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was white.
White gray.
Was it gray? Okay, yeah. So the gray one's female. The only female in the group. Her name is Phoebe, and she's considering her size, she actually looks like she's probably the strongest out of all of them for the most part. So she has a lot of time left on her. So you probably got a pretty good deal on her.
Great, so that's my horse.
Because I went without everyone else.
I want Ruckus.
Considering her size, though, you got about 2 horses that are capable of holding the larger party members, and Phoebe would be one of them. The other one is definitely too brittle, and the other one's not large enough.
So I ride Ruckus.
Rukas?
Ruckus. I kind of just like.
Yeah, there's nothing special about them. They're all Roenheim steeds. So
That's okay. It's spotted black and white, just like me.
yeah, it's more black than white.
That's okay. It's just like me.
Alright.
So I try to.
So that
climb.
takes care of that.
More
He gets all the
black than
horses ready for you. He leads you over to the dusty dog. Is there anything else you want to touch up?
Nope, I just got everyone's saddlebags, and a horse. Seems like enough.
Yeah, he tossed in some feed bags too, and
Nice.
stuff as well. And a couple of apples just to
What a
throw
gentleman.
them on
You
there.
said they're on their last leg. They don't need to eat.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, fucking the female horse loves apples, so he does one of those for her.
Remember, she likes apples. Phoebe likes apples.
But so you guys make your way through the market, bumping into people every now and then. Most of the people are talking about like the extreme weather and all the rain and the ground's super soft everywhere, and a lot of people are complaining that their fields got flooded out. And then there seems to be a rumor of a group of individuals that's made its way to town of people who had gone and cleared out Deep Canyon Pass from goblins already at this point. But there's also a couple of people added on that those goblins who ran away, some of them have made their way into some of the smaller like hamlets nearby outside of Deep Canyon Pass and had raided them for supplies before they left back to the caves, but that's neither here or there.
Yeah, that was also.
That sounds like those little towns' problem.
But eventually you make your way to the front of this ironworks, and there's like a whole bunch, this huge rack of like horseshoes and different bandings for wheels, and there's like a cart out front that's being worked on. And it's called the Sentinel.
The Sentinel.
Sounds evil.
The Sentinel.
Scare me.
I don't know.
But you can hear the distinct sound of like tinking of iron and a hammer on iron, and you can see on the inside. It looks like there's a large man, about 34 years old. He's got kind of like he's got brown hair, and it's shaped pretty close, almost like probably like close to a military cut of some sort. You're used to seeing it. It's it would denote that he probably served somewhere and got used to it. And just he does his hair this way now, forever and forward.
House with the lights.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he has a lot of. You can see he has a lot of like burns and marks on his body, probably from working with iron and forging all the time.
Oh, not very good then, huh? No.
He's got like super thick forearms, and he's muscular and well built for his size, and standing probably closer to the 6 foot. He's pretty stacked. And then working on the cart, you can see that there's a younger girl, probably around 17 years old. She has like long brown hair, and it's like tied up and in a ponytail, and she has like these heavy like duty like working clothes and gloves and stuff, and she has all these tools out. She's trying to get this wheel back on this cart. And as you approach, he looks over and he's like, Hannah, we have customers. Go and take care of them while I'm over here trying to finish up this sword.
Sorry, how?
So she kind of gets up.
Hannah.
Hannah.
Hannah. Sorry.
The daughter.
daughter.
So she goes, she's fine, Dad. I'll take care of him. And she gets up and comes over to you. She starts taking off her gloves. So what do we got? What are we looking for here today, guys?
How
can I help you?
This little elf wants a metal box to protect him from danger.
Ignore the
Listen, does the you guys gonna are we do business, or are you gonna let the half orc talk?
I have him trained.
You're here for business, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sorry, he's not properly trained well, so he tends to talk out of command. I love you, Luthok. You mean a lot to me.
Luthok
Thank
will
you so
remember
much for
those.
training me.
Business.
Luthok
Yes.
will-
Work to do. What are you looking for? What can I do for you?
A breastplate. Keep it simple.
A breastplate?
Yes, sir.
Just
Ma'am.
a breastplate, or are you actually looking for the fittings and all everything that comes together?
Just breastplate for now.
Do you happen to know what your size is, like chest and all that relevant information?
I do not.
You don't.
No.
Hold on. She goes inside. She comes back out with a tape measure and it goes up to you, and she kind of gets your general measurements. She says,
Takes-
"Well, you seem to fit the size most individuals come looking for protection. Most of the city guard run around the same area. So, what I can do for you is, I do have. Was it breastplate?
Yep.
I do have breastplate. At the moment, we have a couple of them. It's going to run you about 400 gold pieces for the breastplate. This is fine metal though. It's comes straight from Iron Falls, and then we shave it and we work it.
I'm not even going to try to haggle you guys. You guys seem busy and you don't have the time for it, so here's 400 gold.
All right,
And
thank you. I appreciate the
5
straightforward
extra gold
business.
for all your effort.
Wow,
What?
that's Are you sure? Like, are you okay? And so she kind of starts like looking you over.
He just said he was my
And-
master. Do you think
and-
he's okay?
I'm going to be honest. I may be
I don't
dying.
think any of you are okay if he's like, listen, I'm not trying to like swindle you or nothing, but you shouldn't be throwing around money like this. And she kind of takes a look around. You can see that since there's it's a crowded place, there's people all standing around, and you get the idea that she's just like, dude, you shouldn't be flashing money in front of people like this.
How
Like,
far
it's
as
bad for us, and it's bad for you.
you should
Oh.
you should tell her that he's been taking dick potions, and
It's like,
that's why he's all fucked
how
up.
about let's go inside real quick and we'll continue this conversation in there, and I'll get you we'll get you fitted and get it put on you.
Absolutely.
Do you have a bathroom?
There's a shitter out back.
Oh, perfect.
So you go inside she takes you inside the main store, and there's like a whole bunch of just random material. There's weapons and stuff and other armor pieces kind of just on show, and they're all on like these wooden like posts or whatever to kind of show off like putting on pieces. And they have a fairly nice they have a really nice really fancy look into the plate mail, and it's got like all the fixings, and it's got like this gold trim on the edges. It's easily probably worth over a couple of thousand gold pieces for the most part. So she goes in the back, gets the chainmail, the pieces, the leather, the undercloth, and the breastplate, and gets it to you. She's like, so it comes with the full set. We'll replace all your old stuff, and everything is custom meant to work together. So she comes and gets it to you, straps it on you, makes sure everything fits, and starts working it.
Yeah, I hope you would too.
I appreciate you. It's been a long time since I put a breastplate on.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, she's just kind of like looking at everybody, and
Not
she's
yet.
like, I've only seen Dragonborn from the distance before. Are you from Emrath, or you are a freeborn?
Oh no, I'm from Emrath. It's playing
Wow,
Axeroth.
That's interesting. I've always kind of wanted to go out and see more of the world than being here. I kind of would love to travel and see some of the capitals, but I'd love to go to Emrath. I've heard it's a beautiful, beautiful city, beautiful country.
You ever get the chance? Yeah, you definitely should. Especially the trade ports, the grand villas, and if you're lucky, maybe you get in good with one of the clans, and we'll take you around. So.
Well, that's a wonderful idea. I just don't think my dad would probably go for it. He wants me to stay here and take over the family business and run it myself and marry who he wants me to marry and not who I want to marry, and so on and so forth. Normal things. But I would like to leave. He won't even let me join the guard or volunteer for the militia. He says it's bad business.
I I'd like to, since we're in the shop, I want to look around. Are there any, because I noticed the dad, he had the cut.
Yeah.
Are there any banners or anything on the wall? Any sort of like military style insignias or anything that would relate to the Orc Wars?
No, not that you can see. No, it's a pretty straightforward storefront. It's just got basically the counter where they take care of the business, and behind that you can see that's basically where their stock room is. And when you were approaching, you can see they live here, so they have an apartment above, and there's a staircase off to your left that goes up. But for the most part, you're on the show floor, and that's all that's really there. It's just those items. They keep it pretty plain. Yeah. The sign for the shop was on the outside as you actually approached the awning where they were doing the work. Yeah, so nothing that stands out directly.
Oh. I'm tightening the straps on you. A little extra tight.
It's fine.
Really getting the leather in there. Oh, them straps.
It's absolutely fine.
All right, like 5 silver.
You should really get better bathroom paper. I about put my finger through it.
And she's just like startled for a second. She turns, she's like, "We have paper out there?"
It doesn't.
What was in there?
Probably some old parchments.
That explains why they were terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
All right,
doesn't.
so she finishes strapping it on. Everything fits fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine armor, just like she said it is. This is about to take care of it for you. We got some. We got some interesting swords and weapons and as well. If you guys are interested.
Steal something.
Well, what type of dueling swords would you happen to have? So like a rapier or a scimitar or a thinner longsword?
I think what he
Oh,
means.
yeah, we got all of that.
I think what he means is a shield.
When I was
I hardly believe he needs a shield when he can just stand behind you.
somebody
Yeah.
gets it. You
The
two
wall.
are the best shield. You two fight with fever like I've never seen before.
Yeah, fuck you.
Luthok, I love you. You are a dear friend, and I say things in jest. I never mean it. And people just...
Yeah.
You made a joke, I
There's a line.
You made a joke, I made a joke back. I'm sorry mine went too far. I do agree it went too far, and I do apologize.
So what are you looking for? What do you want?
Yeah,
Rapiers?
Yeah, I'm looking for a rapier, which is D8. Yeah, so rapier.
Rapier?
Yeah, rapier.
Oh yeah, we got this fine piece that we put together last month that hasn't really sold yet. Someone commissioned it and then they couldn't really afford to pick it up. So how 25 gold sound good for the rapier?
Absolutely.
Rapier is a one-handed piercing weapon, right?
Yep.
Is it finesse and light, or is it just finesse?
Just finesse. You just trying to get finessed or what?
It's finesse. It's finesse, and
That's it.
it can be my since it's my chosen weapon at level 3. It can now be my focus.
Yeah, but it has to be wielded in your main hand, right?
Yep, right hand.
Okay.
White hand.
What else are you looking for?
That's it.
That's it? Just
Yep.
just the rapier?
Yep.
Okay.
And I was gonna ask if she.
So it just comes with a scabbard and the cloth and some of the cleaning supplies and some oil to keep the blade nice and sharp, and she gets it out for you.
And then my only other question was, upon arrival from this other job we have to do, which is time sensitive, could you etch something into the blade for me? At additional cost?
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do right now. That seems like a pretty menial job. Maybe if you bring the blade back, I can do it another time.
That's perfect. I didn't assume to do it now. I was
You wouldn't want to leave that up to me anyways. You leave that up to Dad.
Perfect. It was just a simple etching of Taiki is all.
Yeah, because apparently you have marrying to do.
Well, not right away. I mean, I have somebody I'm interested in, but not that it's really anybody's business. But he doesn't want me to marry the person I want to, and he'd rather us strengthen the ties with the store to somebody else that's a little bit more affluent than we are.
When I guess I'm kind of intruding, but wouldn't joining up with the city guard and stuff strengthen ties with the people that's going to be using the most of your equipment?
They already come to us for almost everything anyways.
Oh.
Anything that doesn't come in trade from Anvil or maybe from the Citadel Unkart, they come to us. And even then, most of the supplies and dwarven weapons and armor, it comes from Ungart. It comes to us, and then we sell it.
Yeah, it just seems like kind of weird for you to get married off to someone you don't want to be married to, and then you're basically set as a housewife instead of like other things that you could be fucking great at. It's kind of stupid.
You seem like you're fairly insightful for someone who's half monster and half whatever else you are.
Yeah, well, monsters don't necessarily treat the same way. We don't marry people off just, well, we do sometimes, but generally you have to be wanting to do it. Like,
You just capture them and hold them against their will.
oh, well, that's
Either way,
that's
I'm
an
sure-
entirely different thing.
I'm sure you were born of the most amazing standards and situations.
No,
I'm sure you were the product of a happy marriage between an orc and whoever else.
Well,
you
they
had
don't really
who's
call it
control.
that, but yes, I was.
Yes, you're fairly insightful. You're right. There are a lot of things I would like to experience in this world, and I can't experience them. For now, until I have the means and the ability to break away and do what I want without possibly maybe finding a way to not hurt my father's reputation and stuff, then I'm basically stuck here.
Oh, that's interesting. Means to collect money or whatever it is, and then kind of get out from under the shitty situation. I can relate to that. Anyway, are you
Anything
done
else I can help you with
shopping?
today?
Oh, absolutely.
We got shit to do, remember?
You look like you're the adventuring type and you're out for a fight, though, so I will let you know. If you pick up any kind of damaged armor or weapons that you have that are even partially serviceable, we might be able to fetch them at maybe quarter cost back to you. But, don't bring me garbage, or that you'll find that deal disappears real quick.
Out of character, did we use the leather armor that I was wearing as part of the...
No,
Is
you
that-
got a full new set.
Cool, that I say, well, if you'd like...
She replaced it all because it's not designed, the leather armor is not designed to work with the breastplate and the straps, and it's not all taken into account.
Then I offer my leather armor up. I don't know if you could use this, but it's what I've been wearing. There is a rather large hole in the center where I was stabbed.
For the most part, it looks like the integrity of this armor's been basically tore up, so I may be able to buy it off of you for, I don't know, maybe 10 gold.
You can just have it as part of the everything I just purchased.
No, just to dispose of your garbage? Oh, I'd love to, thank you.
I can throw it away if you'd like. I was just trying to be slightly helpful.
No, I'll take it. I don't know, we'll break it down and see if we can repair it and maybe sell it to the city guard. Anything else?
I'm gonna leave while I have some dignity.
Anybody else interested in anything else? Any weapons or anything? Got a vast selection here.
Yeah.
I see you got a kind of a simple, an older style wooden shield. Wouldn't you like something better? Something maybe suited more for your size?
No, this was given to me by the order, so I'm gonna hold on to it until it breaks or I find something better.
Alright, well when it breaks, you can come here and find something better.
Actually, since you bring it up, and I pull my shield out from when the bugbear cleaved through it with the cleaver.
She grabs it right away. She's like, "Oh yeah, this is useless. You need a new one."
Oh, fuck. Well, I still got my arm, right?
This is maybe one other good hit away from cleaving straight through your arm the next time you try to protect yourself with it.
Well done, shield, and I tap it. Yeah, I'll take a new one, preferably one that, look at me, I'm fantastic. Some that suits me. How much would that cost me? Don't chip me.
Hashtag
We didn't have the best discourse just now.
Don't become the monster you hate.
I will become the monster.
Never fuck me, Hannah. Never.
This is the only time I tell you.
Listen
Don't
closely.
Don't fuck me, Hannah.
Don't fuck
Don't
me,
try to
Hannah.
fuck me.
Don't you ever fuck me, Hannah?
I tell you one time and one time, don't you fuck me,
Damn
Hannah.
you for making this.
It's
It's
if you're looking for something, what were you willing? A wood shield?
Yeah,
If
well,
you're looking for something
basic.
a little sturdier that's not going to break, then she's going to charge you about 5 gold for a steel shield.
oh, that's fine. 5 gold. Just get a steel shield that won't break, because I've just been picking up shields I've acquired on my travels.
And she's like, "So I can see."
Yeah.
So she goes over to the show wall and she grabs this this large round shield, straight steel on the outside, banded as well, and then she kind of brings it over to you. She's like, "All right, here you go. This will do it.
Yeah, well,
This shouldn't break.
yeah.
Next time someone hits you with it.
That's
Although anything excessively hot probably melted it. So
yeah. I tried on. I'm like, oh yeah, that feels really nice. That the leather almost fits pretty good. All right, sweet. While we're at it, how does my axe look? Does it look like it cut stuff pretty good, or should I get it sharpened?
Axe looks fine.
All right, cool. I've been using it pretty heavily recently, so
Test it on your shield.
no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, you want to break your stuff, you can. All right, thank you.
I want to break your stuff.
No,
That's funnier.
no, that's not funny at
It's
all.
funnier. I let my hands start glowing orange.
You break my stuff, you're going to find out how funny it is. I'll take your hand. I've done it before, I'll do it again.
I touch it and then I pull away.
I grunt at him, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Did it melt a little bit?
Better
No.
not have.
Damn it.
Slag.
I'm ready to go if you guys are. I'm pretty sure Riken's
Just a
probably
black.
done.
There's just a black hand.
All right, well, best of luck in your journeys, and come back safe if you can. We'll be here. And so she, escorts you out of the store.
You think,
Get out.
As we leave,
Escort.
as we leave, you think that she wanted us to come back safe because she actually cares, or that's just something they make her tell us?
She
That
probably wants us
option.
to come back safe to buy more stuff.
Well, she wants me to come back. I'll
Right,
walk out.
so
I'm already out there.
we start heading back to the Dusty Dog, I assume.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm admiring my now armored chest where I was previously stabbed.
I feel the same.
Yeah,
You guys leave.
Can I try to melt his chest, please, now?
Perfectly heavy.
So you guys, you head back to the Dusty Dog. You
Oh, I have
enter.
no idea
It's
what's
busy.
happening.
It's kind of around the, early morning, just right before lunch, and there's a bunch of people, and they're, eating and drinking together. And then you see the horses out front that you assume are yours, and you see Riken out there
Oh, hey,
and Lumi.
hey, Riken, those are horses?
Yeah.
Yeah, they what the fuck, man? Look how old they are.
Hey,
Hey.
don't say mean things about the horses. They have names. Okay.
Out.
As
Yeah.
I go to introduce them, so I'm like, so this one's Cass, this one's Ruckus, this one's Bendon, and this one's Phoebe.
Right, well, who's riding what? And which one is mine? Is this all they had? Because this look at them.
You
Yeah.
wanna walk?
Well, yes, this is all that was really available. The vendors wouldn't sell their own workhorses. Sorry. This isn't exactly,
Don't tell me I paid 125.
Look, we're not in. What do you want? This place doesn't have a standing army. They don't keep a stable.
I just figured if I'm paying 125 gold for a horse, I'm gonna get more than one use
None
out
of
of it.
you paid that much. I have your returns.
Oh, I thought we got screwed
No, of
over
course
for a
not.
second.
So I hand everyone back their gold. Theo, 65 gold. Luthok, 80 gold. Alpha, 55 gold. Luke.
Obviously, whatever's left over of mine go back into the party fund.
No, it was from your cut.
Oh.
Luke, 30 gold. And Lumi, 30 gold.
I don't
Oh,
like
well.
Luke. I don't like it.
Tough. I gave you a nickname.
I guess we can.
What'd you call it?
Luke.
Luke and
He's Luthok.
Yeah.
Orcs
That's
give
my
their own
name.
nicknames. Orcs will give you their nickname. You don't give an orc the nickname.
Starting to like Riken more and more.
Most orc nicknames that I've given are asshole.
That is
Yeah.
common.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still around if you said that to their face.
Hey,
I honestly
hey.
think you just badass works better.
I was thinking about blue, but
Big boy blue.
I like blue.
No, how do you feel about that? The one that hurt me.
like I
Right.
said, he'll give it to us.
Alright, and I point at Alfarius and I point at Uthok, and I'm like, alright, who's heavier?
Alfarius.
Definitely, in all that armor.
Yeah.
Then you take Phoebe. Feedy here is the female gray pony.
She's the strong.
You take Feedy. She's strong.
Didn't
Alright.
That's what the guy said. Now you
He tried, but you know.
take Bendon.
Are you gonna
You
argue
take
with the
you
cat?
take the brown one. His name is Bendon. He's smart.
Is this smart?
I think,
What do you mean by
I think
that?
Kaz looks a little stronger, probably.
Well, Kaz is the leader. Yeah, you could probably take Kaz. You
Yeah.
probably want Bendon.
I need someone with a strong personality.
Now I weigh about 130 pounds, so we need the lighter one to go to Ruckus, which is just like me but complete opposite.
So it looks like two of us are pairing up on the horses. How heavy are you, Lupa?
I'll ride with the cat.
I'm heavy.
I don't need. Can he handle two people?
Yeah, probably not.
That's my worry.
I might 300 pounds.
I mean, I weigh about an additional 160 pounds now.
Or about 280. Whatever. Stones. Bunch of stones.
Several.
Stones.
Anyway,
Let's just pair up on the horses and travel. We have a place to be.
any other things to take care of before we leave Greencrest?
Actually,
Looking
yeah.
into maybe more horses or something?
So I reach into a bag, and I know you were mentioning this on the way, and it just struck a chord. So I pull out a little box, and put it on one of the saddles, and flip it open, and there's just some pastries. I found a bakery on the way over.
Well, I lean in close on this horse saddle. I'm just put my snout into it.
Pretty simple little things. I think it's just glazed with some sugar, but
Oh.
sugar must be hard to come by in this town. So.
Oh, you bought some? As I reach into my pocket and there's like smush. I got some too, but
These are much nicer.
I pull out one from the box and I reach over.
Ah. I just took a handful
I
of
was
bush.
gonna take some to say thank you, but no, thank you.
Never mind.
Yeah, how many are in the box, right?
Wow, there's a dozen. Little glazed pastries.
Little glazed pastries. You name these little glazed pastries.
I don't know, cake wheels.
Cake wheels. That makes sense.
I like it.
I say we toast our cake wheels and enjoy them.
Oh, they're delicious.
And the finer things in the adventuring life.
Huzzah!
To not getting stabbed in the chest and friendship.
I down my cake
to
wheel.
stealing more things.
I try to fit it all in my mouth all at once. Doesn't work very well. I take
You're
a
like,
second. It's like,
okay.
and I just
I don't know. I think if he took this to Marseille, he would make us so much money with this. Anyway,
That was actually
So
pretty
you guys ready
good.
to head out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that everybody enjoyed
Yes.
one, I mean, I'm gonna have like 2 more.
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah, everyone gets one serving.
You're the
After
biggest.
that,
Everybody
free
gets
for all.
one.
Everyone gets one.
isn't that right, Lucian?
Everybody gets one.
Apparently, everybody gets one.
Yeah, apparently.
I reach in for the mush.
There was no more mush. He took it all.
I took all the mush. You're out of mush.
So it's a nice day.
Oh yeah, so it's a nice sunny day. The storm's still passing, going on the other side, but you can see that on the gray spires. It looks like there's another storm system probably coming in. They'll probably be here within a day or so, 2 days. Expect some more. This one though doesn't look nearly as awful. Probably some light rain, some light wind and weather, some last bit of cold getting pushed away from the north.
It all?
You have to leave using the northern road and then take the old cut out of town. As you guys are leaving town, kind of just people get out of your way, carts moving. But every once in a while, you'll see people kind of give you guys like a short wave. You know, just they can tell that you're leaving and going somewhere. And for the most part, adventurers stand out on their own because they're always armed and wearing weapons and fancy things that none of them could ever afford to get without the adventuring lifestyle paying for it all. So it's 3 days. So how you guys want to do this?
Roll!
Dice!
Roll
for it.
Sure it'll work out.
Hopefully.
3 days is 7, right?
We'll have to find a new system for it.
Yes. 1, 3, 4. Yep.
7.
1, 2, and 4.
Seven
so it should be
dice.
7, right?
Everybody rolls one, we roll an extra.
So,
Yeah, roll the
so
extra.
This random
Or
encounter.
we could just have
is
Andy
a-
roll one
Uh-huh.
too.
Yeah, and
It's-
you rolled, yeah.
You roll, it get exponential,
Mhm.
and you roll all the d12, and then if over half are
If more than the amount of days,
if more than the amount of
days
days
traveled are 11s and 12s, you have a random encounter.
Oh, so it would only take 3.
Yes,
Meet
we'll need
or
to find a
beat?
better system.
Is it meet or beat or just beat?
it's B.
So it'd have to be 4 then for 3 days of travel.
Yeah. I we'll have to think of a better way.
What, traveling?
Well, no, for the random encounter, because statistically speaking, the more dice you add, the less likely you are to get that many.
Oh.
No.
Let's roll.
No, because you only
go,
beat
boys.
the days, not
Yeah.
the number of dies.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess that's
Come on,
true.
boys.
So you
So-
only need to get 4 D11s or
If we-
D12s in a
if we-
combination.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
However,
think about it, and we travel
it
travel
should
for
be
one
meat.
I just thought
Because otherwise, on one day, you're
I
never
was
going to have
thinking-
a random
I,
encounter.
I misheard you the first time
Yeah.
you did. You
Yeah,
said
you
it.
will. Because you on the first day you roll.
The problem is, I
Yeah,
miss-
but you can't beat.
Yeah,
You can't roll 2 with one day.
No, this is
On one
this
day
is a
you roll
fine
one.
system.
You
get
The reason
11
I thought
each.
it was wrong
On day
because
2,
I
that's
misheard
3.
you the first time. I thought you had.
Requires
No, he's
No,
saying
no, he
you
said
have
they
to,
had to beat.
You have to
And if
beat
it's
the
3 days, we'd have to roll 4. So if it was 1, and we have to beat 1,
But if you're traveling one day at a time, then you're probably not going to have a random encounter.
No,
Mm.
Alex, what are you talking about? If you're traveling 3 days.
He's not
Never
talking about
mind.
3.
I'll explain it later.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The reason I thought
Yeah.
it was weird is because I thought you said the first time you had to beat like over half of them. I was like, well, the more days you travel, the less likely that
No,
becomes.
we were
If we-
moving
if
so
we
many
travel-
days, and
I
we
get
were
it.
rolling.
I get it now.
Yeah.
It
If we
makes
travel
more sense.
7 days, we'd be in bad fucking
Yeah. So if
territory.
you travel for if you fast travel 7 days, then you have to roll. All you need is 8 D12s and 11s out of the like 20 something dice you're rolling.
Okay,
Oh,
that makes more
we got
sense.
an 11.
You already got an 11.
I rolled an 11 too.
I rolled a 7.
I
11?
I should have left it, but
6.
We're up to 2 11s.
That's it. 9.
So now we need an extra one.
oh, we can only meet.
11.
It's all right though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 11s.
we
We didn't
passed
beat the
it.
3 days, but we got close.
You had to roll at least 4 of them. Yeah, because any other random encounters and stuff, like on a one day worth of travel, if you want to travel one day, then we handle it that one day because it's just one day worth of travel. Or if you want to do them one day at a time, the random encounter is based upon your perception checks for your guards.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's why.
Roger,
That's
roger.
how it compounds the fast travel versus doing it. It's less likely that you'll have an encounter if you do it one day at a time, but you don't move nearly as fast.
And part of the design is keeping in mind that we're going to have interactive
Applications.
buttons on Mixer as we
So
develop.
people will be able to
buy
buy
more
D12s
D12s.
to add to your chances.
Yeah.
All right.
And we might even set it up to where if they subscribe, they can just straight add a 12 to your roll.
Mm-hmm.
So if you roll 3 days and you roll 3, and they're like, "Oh, I want to buy one," and then now you have.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same-
The design sounds a little clunky until you consider we're setting it up for interactives.
Yeah.
In the future.
Coming in the future. Coming in the future.
Yep.
So
So we
did-
make it.
We made
We're
it.
good.
We
yeah,
made
so
it.
travel.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Don't encounter much for the most part. The central plains and kind of lowland areas that surround most of where Greencrest was and most of the farming rural area that made up what Warren used to be before it was burnt to the ground is sprawling prairies and grasslands and sort of low hills and divots and in areas where maybe water streams, old streams that are now dry used to run through. All the days go by for the most part till the second day. The storm kind of catches up to you. You guys experience sporadic light wind and light rain through that day. You see some wild horses out running on the third day, out in the distance. You catch glimpses of maybe a couple of hippogriffs flying
Ooh.
northward towards the gray spires behind, up the way. And then you make,
Hippogriffs.
on the third day, you see that the ruins of Warren stretch out in front of you about maybe 2 miles ahead near Lake Hesta, which is a large body of water. And as you approach, you can see that it's just completely in ruins and overgrown with grass and moss, and it's been abandoned for quite some time, ever since more or less it was sacked during during the Orc Wars. It's a nice day, getting towards the evening. It's fairly warm, but you don't see any signs or anything of anybody actually staying there from the distance that you're at. And you find a nice little space where there's this nice little rise that allows you to will allow you to camp there without your the light from your fire casting too far.
Yeah. So we're gonna make camp. Are we gonna make camp?
Yeah, we're gonna make camp.
No. We should
Yeah,
probably
like
find a good place to tie the horses up.
Alright, so I didn't write it down, so out of character, DM. The information that Finley gave us on the Greyjacks, he gave us pretty much the precise location where they pick up their supplies.
Yeah, general. I mean, looking at the map, you're pretty sure that it's right off the lake at the old docks for the most part. And they're normally there, and he describes that there's normally, if you include the people who actually drop off and bring the rafts down the river, there's normally like 3 or 4 people accompanying the goods that go through there, plus there's about 5 or 6 people who meet there and then set it up on the next raft to split up the goods that are going to Greencrest versus what's going further down the river to Breathorpe.
Okay. Just curious. So, we're looking for the docks on the lake.
it's nighttime, right?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
evening. It's twilight, dusk.
Do you
It's
plan
getting-
to-
the sun's starting to set.
Well, in my experience
hold
with
up on the
smugglers,
phone.
they like to work at night.
So,
And today's our deadline, yeah?
so that means
Yes, it
sometime
is.
tonight. So we should probably go to the docks now.
Yeah.
And we gotta find their leader, Carcass.
We should probably
Carcass.
go down by foot.
Agreed.
Tie the horses up here.
Absolutely. We should make a quick camp, tie off the horses.
Place our stuff down, brush it up, and move.
Yeah.
And move quietly.
No. We don't need to move too quietly. They're gonna be busy.
Stealthily.
Hmm.
If we don't make a stealth check, mechanics, aren't they? It's bitten us in the butt before. He's like, yeah, they totally see you coming, but because you never made a stealth check.
We should attempt to just move.
We will move
with
stealthily, but not absurdly stealthily.
You're assumed to move at your normal paces unless stated otherwise.
We
Yeah.
just must be
Normal
very
pace.
quiet.
We are moving at a
Stealthily.
quieter pace to attempt
Very
to
quiet.
prevent her being
Acquire
immediately noticed.
normal pace.
I
Or
will-
not.
I will defer to the group, but
Heavy
I don't
armor.
think that's particularly nice.
I
Look, disadvantage doesn't mean
the
loud.
edge on the side of caution of being quiet.
Okay.
Just work with your paws.
We don't have them.
Well, you just have to pretend you have paws. You have to just be very
Like-
quiet and just sneak.
So
My stealth isn't
I-
too bad.
I find a place to tie up the horses and stow some of my
Yeah, so you
non-essential
have some,
gear.
you have some stakes and you get the reins and stuff, and you kind of like pound it into the ground and tie them up. They're pretty old. They're pretty docile for the most part. Only Phoebe is a little bit more restless and energetic than the other horses.
Hey, I just have. I don't really have horse food. Does anyone have some snacks to tide these guys over?
Oh, the saddlebags. The horses left.
Oh,
It has feed and a feed bag.
I pull out some feed and I give them feed to keep them calm so they don't make weird noises and act like an animal and alert anyone to our presence.
Yeah, a quick little like toughen a pet and an apple or so, and she calms right down, just eats and just hangs out. They don't seem like they're going to go anywhere. The entire 3 days worth of traveling, the horses haven't been much of an issue,
All right.
other than just getting used to each horse's kind of individual personality and we're trying to remember how to ride. And some of you were pretty rusty, so it took you time to like get used to how to handle a horse again on the road.
All right. So now that the horses are taken care of, no need to do anything before we sneak down there.
No, I'm all set. I've got my rapier and I've got my good armor. I'm quite set.
I've got my claws ready.
So what's our game plan? Just run up on them and attack them?
Ah,
That's more what I meant.
that's up to you guys. I'm good with anything.
Listen,
That's not an answer.
let's sneak down there. We'll get a good lay of the land.
From your position, You had a pretty good look of the layout of the city. The old city. The city is much larger than Greencrest was. All right, and it used to house a much larger population that's split between Greencrest when it was built afterwards, and a lot of people went to Breathorpe, and that's one of the reasons Breathorpe got bigger. But it used to have like at least 13,000 people living in it. So it's got some vast abandoned mercantile districts and areas, and you can see the ruins of the old Temple of Parathor jutting out. Its large columns very evident, and the old statue of Parathor is kind of like leaning and crumbling off to the side. But you can see that if you go wide around, the lake stretches out beyond the boundaries of the actual city limits.
Sorry, Mr. DM. Did you say gold or old?
Old.
Old. Oh, I was like an old gold statue. A gold statue leaning. Ka-ching, ka-ching.
It's just plated gold. Relax.
Well.
So surveying the city, you can see that you could possibly approach from whatever direction you wanted to. And since you haven't seen any signs of any kind of lookouts or any fires or anything inside the city that would denote anybody's living there, it's your choice.
So are the docks? We haven't really seen the docks specifically.
You can't see them from where you are. There's so many buildings in the way.
But
the city was pretty well built up, so most of what you can see outside from these scattered, abandoned like remnants of these like brick walls and where farms used to be or small homesteads used to be at one point, most of the buildings are like 2 or 3 stories tall.
And then as far as body of water, like
The one thing I'm concerned about is finding the docks and being on the wrong side of them, being on the wrong side of the water. You know, is this river pretty big?
Well, Lake Hesta's like like a mile wide or so.
Oh, so we're probably fine.
The docks on the other side.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah, docks, yeah.
we're gonna go swim.
What's over there?
Hey, sorry, I apologize.
No, the Randale River runs into Lake Hesta and then comes back out.
Okay. Yeah, I remembered stuff about a river.
The Trollclaw Mires stretch for miles, like maybe a dozen miles or so, like beyond that, just outwards towards into the Dawnwoods Forest.
Fair enough. All right, that answers my questions. So we're gonna go get a lay. You were saying we're gonna get a lay, see exactly what they're doing, then decide from there.
Yeah, let's
Well, I can try and see if there's anyone.
You want to scout ahead on your own?
Of course, I can see in the dark.
Fair enough.
Lumi,
Yes.
were you wanting to scout ahead on your own?
Well, can anyone keep up?
I
No,
probably
I
could.
cannot.
The answer is no. None of us can keep
yeah.
up.
I can't keep up, but I can be as stealthy.
AF.
I just don't know about that part.
I know last time you tried to go full on, and then it didn't work out.
Oh, yeah, so that's you have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just give you a perception check.
Yes, sir.
The third, right away, third.
12.
12? Okay. Give me one too.
All right,
You have dark vision
Gimme,
as well.
gimme.
I have dark vision.
Gimme.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm
Oh
not.
yeah, I forgot. Give me
Yeah.
+1.
I'm human plus all.
I got a
You mean meta?
17.
No, he's the best board, so.
The best bar.
You want one too?
That's called meta.
Are my Finley senses tingling?
What?
Are my Finley senses tingling
Yeah,
right now?
you're Finley.
Yeah.
No,
But,
he's gone. As far as you know.
he?
I did get a 17.
17? Okay. Yeah, roll yours as well.
Nice.
Jesus, Mike. This is a recurring joke, by the way, stream. This guy has a die rolling box, and he manages
A
to
special
miss
box. Just for dice.
90% of his rolls when he actually rolls it. And actually,
Oh, that's fine.
he likes to one-up it and miss the table completely. And we have a 7-foot table, right?
A 7 by 7
by
inch.
7 table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
in
he will
our wonderful
miss
studio.
the table at times. So just
Yeah.
you know, if someone wants to be if it wants to be their thing, why don't you keep track of the time he like misses like the die or drops them and stuff. It'd be funny to know.
I don't know if it's on the shot. But
It's not in the
keep
shot,
it
but
for
we'll
it.
let
It's not,
you
but
know.
We'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
14.
A 14?
I got an 8. Yeah.
I'm the most perceptive.
You are.
The wise perceptive orc.
Oh, the battle hardened orc. The one who's aware of surroundings.
So what are you guys doing?
So Lumi was talking about trying to sneak down there ahead of us.
I can
Brushing a horse.
try and see what's going
Yeah,
on.
there's a lot of overgrowth and ruins and old stone walls and stuff. There's definitely enough cover to get from where you are to the city without being detected. Aside from some major oversight, like somebody trips and falls in their armor.
Hey Lumi, how about you go over there
I
and you see exactly
name
what?
names, Dragonborn.
What? He's in the same boat I am.
I am not. I specifically got breastplate because there's no disadvantage to breastplate.
How about you go forward,
You're
see where
close.
they're at, and see if they have any kind of we haven't seen any lookouts, but see if they have anything,
In real life.
and
not
give
in
us
this game.
come back and give us our best method of approach.
Roger, Roger. I'm just looking
Does
for
that
the
sound like
leader.
a good idea, Alfarius?
Yeah.
You're a military man, right?
Yeah. Center of Scouts Sword.
All right.
Nice side.
Scouting party.
Yeah. So Lumi is going to stealth forward and
Yes.
see where their people are at, and kind of trying to note the best method of approach.
So what I want to do is I'm going to put my hood on. I'm going to go on all fours. I'm going to crawl like Spider Monkey.
You're just gonna crawl the whole way in there because you're about a mile away from the town.
That's a long
All
crawl.
fours, run.
So we should probably follow behind her up to a certain point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll send her
Revise, revise the strategy. We'll follow up to a certain
Right.
point.
Yeah.
The edge of the city.
Okay.
Yeah, to the edge, and then she'll go forward and just
Go
help,
forward.
help us
How
out.
much, how much time do you want to spend scouting the city?
I want. Well, what? I want to look at the watch that I stole and see what time it takes.
Well, I have it, so
Yeah.
Well, the C. I want to see the watch that I stole.
it's in my bag.
She's gonna walk up and go, watch.
Yeah, it's not in your bag anymore.
Is it in my?
What
is
time
it in
of
my
day is
bag?
it? It's all
It's around 8 p.m. or so because it's
okay. It's
in the
getting
spring.
dark. Guys, how long do you want me out there
in,
for?
like, the
30
end of
minutes?
spring, going into
30
summer.
minutes? 10 minutes?
Oh, go for an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your time.
If you come up with something, obviously come back.
Immediately.
Okay.
Do we want to get to at least the city's edge?
We
Right?
are at the city's edge.
Yeah, that's what we're
Okay.
doing. We're going to City's Edge. She's going a little bit ahead,
Okay.
scouting the docks specifically.
I'm caught up then. That's all I need to know because I knew we were a mile away from the city. I didn't know if we were.
Yeah.
She was going ahead for an hour and then we were gonna like move in. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
No, we're all headed to the edge together.
Should,
Stealthily.
should we have a safe
Okay,
word?
stealth checks.
The safe word is pineapple.
It's always pineapple.
It's a word you wouldn't say in normal conversation.
Fogelhorn.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
This is that now
stealth-
one?
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well,
you
yeah,
can't fail on a stealth. Nat fail on a stealth check. So, what's your stealth check actually? I'm sure it's higher than
Well, yeah, with your stat.
6.
6. Not a very stealthy thief.
I'm a low level still. It's stuff. It's sleight of hand that I have my advantage on.
And you didn't take in stealth.
No.
Okay.
Well, I have both. I just have double advantage on sleight of hand. 'Cause that's
Works.
important for my character.
Well,
Don't you get 2 of those though? What's your other one? Perception?
No, the other one I took it in something else.
Which is...
So,
All right.
make your
All
way
right,
to
yeah.
the edge of the city.
I got a 9.
9.
10.
Oh yeah. 7.
Oh, dude.
You guys are the stealth.
Dude, this
Stealthing.
is bad. I got a
Right?
10.
12.
Dude, I gave up
Man.
stealth halfway there. I just was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm walking like a normal person.
So, you make your way through the overgrowth and some of the ruins of the cities, and you find yourself this nice little spot, this rundown house. Its roof is collapsed, the entire building is dilapidated and coming apart. And you wait for Lumi as she leaves and heads out into the city to scout around. Give me a perception check.
It's twice as good.
Yeah. I rolled a 2.
I got a 6.
A 6. So, you hit most of the
Are you
hit
drunk?
most of the centralized locations following the main street, and you get to the old fountain that used to be in the center. and looking around, and you begin to get kind of spooked out by like the absolute quiet that makes up the city now, and you decide to head back a little bit early, as opposed to going all the way down to the docks. It's a little unnerving.
So you see me coming back kind of like this.
That was fast.
Guys, it's too quiet out there. Like.
Did you
it's
get
too-
scared?
Maybe.
Well, you were supposed to be quiet. That's how we sneaked
Scaredy
up on
cat.
you.
But you don't get it. Like
That's
the
too easy.
fountain.
I can't agree to that.
Still
Like-
a dad joke.
Yeah.
Like, I can try again, but hold on. I need some inspiration. Come on. I'm just scared.
You know what?
How about we just walk down to those docks?
Let's just
Yeah.
walk up there like we own this shit. How
yeah.
about that?
What if we just stand there, look like we belong, and then the Greyjack contact will come up the river, and then we slaughter them, and
So
then we
this-
look like we belong on the barge, and then we wait for the actual Greyjacks, or whatever order it happens.
So just what you say is go down there, just go down there and wave around the sword and kind of claim it all as ours.
You mean murder hobo?
Look, I'm just tired of. It's cold. I just want this to be over.
Well,
Ducks! You're the worst adventurer ever. I'm cold and I want to go home.
He is old.
Man.
Oh,
Look, I've been doing this a long time, and I can tell you, I wish I was in a bed. That's all.
He slept on enough rocky grounds and made leaf pillows in the wilderness. He's over it. He's look, more pine needles to sleep on.
I can't
That's
really
comfortable.
So out of character, I just want to make sure everybody knows that the cat Lumi is now the chair guy. So she's in control of the chat.
Freaking cat.
She's over there sitting
She
in
is
the
not.
chair.
She is not. If
Back in
everything
the
goes,
game.
Swear to
if everything
God.
breaks, that's why.
Yeah.
That's
If
why.
anything in the game just broke your immersion, I'm sorry, but she can't be stopped.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay?
audience is gonna be like, yeah, the audio and the video's been great. This whole thing.
Yeah.
Cat knows what it's doing.
You heard her chair, guys.
You-
Cat's doing a great job.
You've been replaced. You're fired.
All of a sudden, you just see
So
pictures
you
of
start
mice on the
climbing
screen.
your way through the city, avoiding the streets, making your way from one building to the next, kind of darting in and out. The darkness has overcome the entire city. The shadows growing deeper and darker in areas, and you start to feel that very eerie, unsettling feeling of being in a place where a lot of people probably died at some point, and it's very unsettling, especially for you as a paladin. There's something unnatural about the area itself. But eventually you make your way to the water's edge towards the docks, and there's about 4 or 5 of these old piers that are jutting out into the lake. Most of them are completely broken down, but there seems to be one centralized one, and from down the road you can see that it looks like there has been like a very small set of a couple of lamps that have been set, and there's barrels and crates all over the place. You don't see anybody standing guard or anybody nearby, but there's definitely somebody here at the pier at the water's edge nearby.
Do the crates and barrels look old and weathered, or they're like new? They're not damaged or anything like
It's
that?
a mix and match. Most of them look like they've been left there for a long time, for the most part.
But not like ruins long
Yeah,
time.
Yeah, not ruins a long time, no.
Okay. That was more my question. And what I look up at the sky. What state is the moon in? Like, is it like a full moon? Like, how much moonlight do we have?
A little bit. The storm's kind of in a break at the moment. You guys had that light drizzle towards the end of the evening, and then it's kind of broke apart. But the most you can tell is that the moon is it's a half moon.
Okay.
You know, a lot of it's kind of covered by some of the clouds, overhead cover.
Well, it's a good thing it's not full.
And the guy at the edge of he's at the edge of the dock, right?
There's nobody there.
Yeah,
You don't see
There's no
anybody.
there.
Yeah.
That it's
We
evidence someone was
Oh,
there.
okay,
Yes.
okay, I catch on that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Can I do a perception check to see if I can see anyone
You
around?
can always do a perception check. Do you want to make one?
I would like to make a perception check to see if I can see anyone around or moving.
Sure.
Do better.
10. You don't see anything more. Nothing else stands out to you. There aren't any shadows moving, and it seems like most of the light's concentrated right there at the edge.
Looks good to me.
So like around where these crates are, is it like ruined buildings, like almost like a street used to be there, or
Yeah, it used to be.
used to be there? Is there any like side streets that maybe we can't see, like maybe he's around a corner or something?
No, it's pretty open here at the edge.
Oh, okay. Like there's a break, like
Yeah.
in the,
So
okay.
Yeah, there's definitely a break at distance. The buildings don't run right up to the water's edge.
Mhm. Okay.
So is it like the water came and like destroyed the land out from underneath buildings and they like crumbled down?
No.
Okay. That was kind of the mental image I got when he asked that.
No, Warren was burnt to the ground by the orcs when they invaded.
Oh.
So all that's left is the stone and whatever else
Just-
that didn't actually
yeah.
get burnt in the fire.
It was ruined from
Yeah.
The only thing the orcs have to show for their war.
Yeah.
Ruins.
Yeah, well, gets burned. Enemy can't use it, right?
I mean,
No, if we don't get it, no one gets it.
well, you ended up losing more land than you had at the beginning.
Yeah, just a minor setback.
All right, well, we're not here to argue about it.
Well, what do you guys propose? Should we go explore a little more?
I don't see anyone around right now, so I'd say we keep looking.
Is there any
So
look?
there's like a street that leads from the city buildings directly to the dock, right? It's like a straight avenue sort of.
Yeah.
Is there the ruined buildings on the side of that street? Are there? They're intact enough to take cover, or are they just like foundations?
They're more or less just foundations now at this point.
All right.
Foundations, everything's overgrown with some vines and moss and stuff. Basically the nature just took over like a few years afterwards.
Looking out, is there any movement or anything on the water, or any like someone coming or going, like anything like that? Any motion in the water?
Yeah, any traffic on the water?
You wouldn't be able to see unless you really got closer.
So we're looking forward docks here, but we can't really see up around the water too much, right?
No, you can see some of the lake from where you are, because the pier goes out pretty far, and it's built like maybe 7 feet to 8 feet off of the water upwards.
But to really get a clear idea, we'd have to move in closer.
Yeah, you'd have to go closer.
So
At right now, you're using about the maximum amount of your dark vision that you can to really get a good look at it. So you guys are about 60 feet away from where everything has been stacked and where it looks like people have been.
so how far is? Are we moving closer, or send someone, or what's the plan here?
Let's advance on the target.
Yeah. So there's barrels and crates on the dock already.
Yeah.
And 2 lamps.
Yeah, and 2
lanterns?
lamps. Yeah, the 2 lanterns.
They're lit.
That's why people without dark vision can see
They're
so
lit.
well.
They're lit as fuck, bro.
Yeah, let's just walk down there.
Let's
Quietly,
let's move slowly.
stealthily.
Let's move slowly, and then if someone appears, we'll take them out.
Yeah, I want to see these stealth checks of us. This shit is hilarious.
Well, you guys already made your stealth checks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, well,
They were
we
hilarious.
keep up. We keep up that tempo there.
So as you start to get closer and you clear that section of space now where the buildings are ending and it's just the straight docks and all the piers that are coming off, looking down left or right, you don't see anything out on the water necessarily in any activity, and for the most part the lake seems really calm. You do see though that there's the raft. One really large raft is already out there on the dock. As you get closer you can see down to it. It's still loaded with like different supply crates and stuff, and as you get to the lamps you see you can see the what looks like someone is like sleeping. You can kind of just see the back end of their legs from on the opposite side of the crates, and you don't hear anybody though.
Stage whisper. So the question is, do we wait here for the Greyjacks to come and pick up their stuff? Or do we deal with this and then wait? I mean, either way, we're waiting for them, right?
Listen, I say in a stage whisper. Yo, let's wait for the Greyjack to show up. We'll wait for them to tie up their boat first, or their raft, or whatever, and we'll fucking jump them.
Well, in the stage whisper,
Yeah.
what I'd like to do.
That's just assumed at this point.
What I would like to do.
Well, so, what about him? Should we worry about him when he gets up?
Nah, fucking leave him. He fucking collects anyways.
Do
Are we near like a building, like a broken down building right now?
No, you moved away from all that.
Yeah, remember,
There's basically
this
like
is
a pile of
space.
leftover junk and stuff that you're kind of just sitting behind making this plan.
Yeah.
And about another 5 feet away from you is like 3 or 4 of these crates and like this large barrel, and then you can see that this person's leg sticking out from the angle you're at.
Yeah, as soon as that boat shows up and they tie it off, we'll have a couple moments before they can untie it. And we'll bam! Bam! We'll grab them.
Did
Yeah,
Finley say
you
that?
guys, you hear his metal clink, and then it goes clink, like loud, super loud off of the
And
I
reflects our stealth roll.
I lean over and like peer at the foot. Did it move?
Make a perception check.
I duck.
No, bad dice.
Doesn't matter.
Much better.
Super close.
It's a 4, 16.
16. No, it hasn't moved at all.
Alright.
Is the foot attached to a person?
It's an
No.
assumption, yeah.
You're again like the angle that it's like the angle that you're at. You can see that there's a body on the other side, and you can see the ends of the feet and the legs, and they're laying there, and there's like padded cloth and stuff on the ground.
Is the toes up or are the toes down?
They're down.
Okay.
Do you know what?
Dead.
Oh shit!
Phelan looks around and says, "Fuck it," and then walks forward. As he does, you see darkness wrap around him, and he's gone. As he disappears and walks forward, as I cast invisibility.
Oh.
You're gonna cast invisibility.
Yep. And then I walk forward under the dock.
Invisibility is the second.
Can I
level
smell
spell.
him? I want to smell
Yeah,
him.
it is. Yeah, greater invisibility is the level.
I wanna-
5th level spell.
I want to smell
4th or
him.
5th.
I didn't realize that invisibility was even.
I'm gonna make a perception check.
I'm gonna make a perception check so I can smell him. Find out where he is.
Who you trying to keep track of? Phelan?
Yes.
God.
Okay, what'd you roll?
12.
12. You can still pick up the scent of his cologne,
Which
that
is
he
too
likes
much.
to wear, but it's moving. Oh man!
Well played, sir. I insulted the orc, and you insult me. Well played.
And
Nice.
The wind picks up lightly though, and Alfarius, you get a huge whiff of right in your nostrils, like this.
Fart.
It just carries on the wind like this super strong, coppery, zinky, metallic scent carries on the air.
I'm gonna do a history check. Is that blood? I'll do a history
Be a
check.
medicine check.
Yeah,
This would be a medicine check.
Irony would be.
that's something I'm actually proficient in. So. Oh. 21.
21. Since you spent so much time around dead bodies and stuff like that, then you're pretty sure it's blood, and it's probably older blood. It's been sitting for a while.
Well, I'll relay that to you guys. I smell blood on the wind and cologne.
And so as you walk forward invisibly, and you round the corner and you pass the lamp and you look over, you see the remnants of what was probably a person at one point. The legs and this pile of blood. You see the entrails completely torn out. This person's in half. They're missing an arm, part of their face, and you can see that further down the dock and closer to the water, there's more body parts as they've been bleeding and it's been running into the lake from where they are through the sound stone.
Our job's done. Let's go.
Oh shit!
Luthok's right.
I
Jock done.
turn around and I walk towards the group, and I get behind them and I whisper out, "Yeah, they're all brutally broken and dead.
I turn around and I charge up a firebolt because he scares the fuck out of me.
Nothing's there."
I mean, you're still talking from behind me.
Sorry, I'm not dropping the second level stuff.
So you startle the sorcerer.
It's
Sorry.
meltdown.
Sorry, should have said something, but no, they're all brutally murdered and there's pieces everywhere. Like, everywhere. Everywhere. There's a lot of blood.
What was our goal? Just to kill him anyway? So
What?
should we go?
Let's see what they were smuggling.
Could you
I see what they're smuggling, and well, maybe, I don't know.
could you actually identify
Is there-
them as the Greyjacks?
Was there any evidence of?
I don't know. Were they Greyjacks?
Was there any evidence?
You hear me go, "What, please?" And I walk back out to go look if they're fucking
Oh,
Greyjacks. Because
no.
I forgot.
Make a history check.
Same roll, 16.
16.
Actually, no, I'm not double proficient, so 16.
You're not aware of any symbols or emblems or anything that they would carry or mark themselves with that would denote them as
Anything.
who they are. And
Yeah.
looking at the body parts, you don't really see any real identifying markers or pieces.
Do I see?
They're all wearing like travelers' cloaks and travelers' clothing for the most part, and some of them had. One of the body parts has like you could tell was wearing like leather armor. There's a short sword that has blood on it on the ground, and then you can see a bow that had been snapped in a couple of different pieces, and there's like arrows kind of strewn about, like a couple of them here and there.
Can I make a history check to see if I know what might have like killed them, or like if there's any distinct markings, or like bites, claws, anything?
Medicine.
Make a nature check.
Nature.
That fits. It's
that's
13. No, sorry, 12.
You're just guessing at the nature of the way they've been brutally torn apart. A large predatory animal, probably.
It's been fucking werewolves. No, not doing this shit. I walk back to the group.
But not. It doesn't look like any of them were killed by swords or weapons. There's no bow wounds or any kind of stab wounds or slashing marks on them.
Well, we're getting all our information from you.
No, you came back.
Yeah,
You're
I come
invisible.
back.
Where is he?
You're invisible.
Yeah.
So I come back to the group.
Yeah. I'll sit there in
So-
silence.
Jesus, what?
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if they're Greyjacks. They look like travelers. There's some weapons and bows and arrows and blood everywhere. And I mean everywhere, but again.
I say we.
Any evidence of what killed
They
him?
have
If I were a betting man, I mean, something as large as you.
You
with
are
as
a
much-
betting man.
I do. If something as large as you. Luthok, I'm sorry, I realize like pointing means nothing to you guys. You can't see me.
Go figure.
Something large, something bestial, something with strength enough to rip a man in half and chew it like it's candy.
Well, did it look consumed? Because maybe it's not a problem if it ate and left.
It looked. I didn't see many of the other pieces that went there, so I'm gonna assume it ate them because the gentleman with the feet down over there, he was half a body with like mush, and I'm betting he was eaten.
There's only one raft, so there's still someone coming to meet him. Maybe.
Or they're
What
dead
is
too. Is there?
All right, I'm gonna go investigate these bodies.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being the middleman.
Yeah.
An invisible middleman is ridiculous.
I'm staying invisible.
Going down there.
I'm staying invisible.
Okay.
All right, I want to investigate for myself. How long have they been dead at the very
Okay.
least?
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Dragonborn, come help me with this.
And you're proficient in medicine, right?
Yeah.
You said that? All right.
And as I stand up, I'll grab one of those lanterns.
All right, cool.
On an out-of-game topic, just because I'm jack of all trades, can I assist in skill checks? Because I get partial proficiency in everything.
Do you have partial proficiency in everything?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
it just
Of
you
course.
choose your certain skills?
No,
to
those
have?
are expertise. Those are the things I'm
Bard
beyond.
has
Gen-
the jack of
generally-
all trades.
Generally, how
Proficiency.
assisting, from what I understand, works is if you're assisting someone else, it works off their modifier. So if
Yeah.
someone assists you, you get the benefit of jack of all trades. So like, really,
Yeah.
he would be
Yeah.
Riken would
So
be
he's
assisting
granting him.
Alfarius.
He's granting him. Riken is granting Alfarius advantage, but we're using Alfarius' modifier.
Yes.
So if somebody's helping you, you get to apply your jack of all trades.
Just wanted to double
He's a
check.
healer.
Yeah.
I was a former guard investigator.
Yeah, sure.
I just know normally that you you only want assistance. If
Make your roll.
18.
Plus 3, so that'd be 21.
A 21. They've been dead for maybe an hour or so, minimum. Probably in the time it took you guys to make your way from the outside of the city inwards to the dock is when they were killed.
Luthor,
Yes?
you guys find any tracks on the docks? Like scrape marks of
Let's-
something
let's
running
start-
around?
or trails
Looking
of blood.
around on the docks for any evidence of like bloody paw prints or drips of blood or something like that.
I start checking pockets.
Make a nature check.
Nature?
Yeah. Pockets, backpacks around.
Oh. Well, I have a -1 in nature, so
What,
12.
it wasn't-
When you're looking around, you don't see any track marks of any kind. Nothing stepped in the blood or left any kind of distinguishing features. You do see drag marks, where people or other bodies that you don't see that are there, were like pulled into the water at some point, or moved into the water or off of the dock. The only tracks you really see are the footprints, the humanoid footprints of the individuals, probably from the ones who were slain fighting, probably stepping in the blood of your.
Get off the
whoever
docks.
was avoiding. You're not
Get
really
off the
sure.
docks now. Start
As you go down to the edge
As I'm
and you're
leaning
following
over
one of the
checking
drag
the
trails, you do find that there is like a person like laying on the ground just below you, and they had fallen all over the edge into the area where like the dock is actually built up to touch the water.
Are they, are they just laying? I'm gonna look at. Is he alive? Is he just, or just like pieces of him? Is he part of a person? You know what I mean? Is he?
I'm gonna check him out, see if he's alive.
Are you gonna like go down there, like over the?
Oh,
No,
I thought he was like right there. No, I'm not gonna go over there. I'm gonna go. Hey, and I'm gonna say that.
Why?
I'm not.
What are you doing?
Get off the docks now.
Why?
There's drag marks, water, danger. Danger!
There's dead bodies, of course we're in danger. I keep checking pockets.
I walk up and like kind of like pat Luthok on the back.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I'm invisible. What are you looking at? What makes you so
Look
nervous?
there.
And I point at the body and the drag marks.
Yeah.
Does the body look? Is it a body? Or is it alive?
The person.
Is the person moving in
He
any way?
didn't respond.
So you look at it, and it looks like it's a man, a human man, and it looks like he's had his left leg has been taken off, and he's missing it, but he's kind of moving and groaning, and he looks like he's still partially alive.
Oh, now he moves and groans for the.
We should go down there and.
Well, I was trying to do it in response to
No,
your
I
comment,
got you.
then
I got you. Yeah.
Mike wanted to walk
No.
over and pat you on the back. So.
No, it's fine. I was just
Spoopy.
being a dick.
Yeah, so you hear this like from down below on the ground.
Well, we should put him out of his misery.
Maybe we should get information first.
And because like the dock you guys are at is like built up. Yeah.
Oh,
And the pier goes down to the water.
I don't like
So
the
I just wanted
water.
to make sure that everybody
Yeah.
was.
You can't really see what's underneath.
The
it.
water doesn't like come to the edge of the.
Yeah.
Do you want to
The
go
top
down
of
there
the
and
dock.
see
The
and
key.
Yeah,
either
the key.
help him,
There you go.
kill him, talk to him?
I walk down there and
like a kid trying to sneak into the kitchen for snacks.
and I walk down there and I go and I grab him and I just drag him really fast back towards like man, away from the
You
water.
put your hands on this guy, who is startled, and his eyes wake up, and he starts like looking around and stuff. And you
Finds an
start
orc.
pulling him over to the pier, and he's having like this panic attack, and like spits up a little bit of blood and comes out of his mouth, and he starts like coughing and heaving and starts trying to like struggle against you, and you finally get him all the way up the steps and back up to the pier and like yank him up onto the dock, and you just like take a look around, and you just like you're looking and you don't see anything that's you haven't startled
There-
or disturbed anything,
There he is.
Luthok?
and he just starts
Excellent.
like,
There
coughing
he is.
profusely and like blood coming out of
Quick,
his mouth,
Alfarius.
just running out,
This man needs.
and he starts shaking, and
He
it's
needs
obvious
help.
that he's like in shock and probably dying at the moment.
Yeah, well, I got you. You're human. You're whatever. It's done. It's done.
Anything
I
interesting
thought the
in the
cat was
pockets or
scared.
bags or
No,
whatever?
it was
It still gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Digging
something in the
through
water.
the parts of some of the 3 bodies that are left there, you find like 5 gold pieces and 5 silver. For the most part, there's not much of what you gather. That there's probably about 7 people who were here. There's what the remains of most of the intact people. There's like 3 of them.
Okay.
But you found enough like missing hands, fingers, and different stuff like scattered around. It's mostly just a huge blood pool now that was pouring out onto the over the pier,
Excellent.
the edge of the quay of the water.
Is he okay?
He's dying.
Oh, he's coughing up blood. He's in bad shape, but I got him.
Orin, where are
It's
you?
done.
Yes, yes, yes.
Your invisibility drops.
Throws a pain on you.
Why?
I was
Is
tired
it
of
is it a
getting
concentration check?
bit. I don't-
Yes, yes it is.
How do you do damage?
I think if you take damage, yeah.
No,
Well,
it doesn't.
If you attack or cast the spell drops. But I believe it's concentration.
It is.
Yeah.
It is
All
concentration.
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll the hit, or do you want to roll that concentration?
Roll to hit me.
I'm gonna
Fine.
give you advantage because he legitimately
Touched you.
allowed you to touch him.
Yeah, here's the worry. I'm like, what? I'm right here,
Yeah.
and I get assaulted.
He played
assaulted
into
by
it,
my
make,
friend.
Make your attack roll. You need to beat a. What's your new AC score?
16,
Oh yeah, I beat that.
unarmed.
Riken,
Unarmed.
Riken.
I'm proficient.
Everyone's proficient in unarmed.
Nice.
Everybody is considered proficient in unarmed
Yeah.
strike.
Yeah.
So do you hit me?
Yeah.
How much damage do you do?
None.
What's your strength modifier?
Yeah, it's strength. It's your strength mod.
Minimum damage is 1. So.
Yeah, so 1.
So you take 1 hit point worth of damage. So you have to roll DC 10 check.
And I only hit you in the arm, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good dead arm.
Yes.
Oh!
Did it drop?
That's
Yes.
awesome.
His 1 hit point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So you know, so Riken's like, Bard, where are you? You walk over to him and he's like reaching out and you grab his arm and bring it to you. And he's like, oh, there you are. And he just swings on you. You can see this fist come and like slam you in the shoulder. And you're just like, oh my, why? And you get so caught up in being angry that he just punched you that you lose concentration and you drop the spell.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Look, the bit was getting old.
So the guy, he's like,
You're paying for that.
He starts shaking
Here's
when
your
the
gold.
guy's dying. So
It's
he has
47 gold for the gum.
Medicine check.
Jeez.
How long is he at?
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
14.
Could be a few minutes. His leg is bleeding out or whatever. Well, the leg he used to have is like completely gone. And you can see that there's large gashes in most of his midsection and parts. And he took like a really, really strong blow to the chest, upper chest area. That might have broken a couple of ribs and he's probably suffocating. So maybe a few minutes.
I get down on a knee. I call Lucian over. Lucian, come over here.
I get down on a knee as well.
Listen, he needs somebody not Dragonborn nature leering him over like this.
Scary?
Right now. Yeah.
I get it.
So I lean down, the soldier with Lucian on the other side, and I put your hand on his shoulder, just comfort him. I give the man my canteen.
Okay.
I wet his lips.
He sort of it sort of responds, but he just basically coughs it back up.
Yeah.
Mm.
What happened to you?
And he kind of moves over and coughs a couple of times, and then he almost wheezes it out. He just says very quietly, enough that if you weren't right on top of him, you probably would miss it. And he says, it just came out of the water. It tore everyone apart. And he starts to cough up on his blood some more. And slowly but surely is losing his ability to like just really speak.
Like, shh, son. I want to say a prayer over you. Dying. Do you need to ask for forgiveness for anything now? This could be your last words.
He kind of turns his head like away from you and like looks out towards the water and starts kind of trying to like reach over like out towards the water, and he points over at the barge, and then he stops breathing and his hand drops across his own chest.
Well,
What's over on that barge?
From what you guys looked at, just standing up there, it looks like there's a bunch of crates and barrels. There's some nets, some sacks of probably like grain or stuff.
Is there other dead bodies?
Not that you can see.
I'll take his hands and close them and lay them across his chest, and if his eyes are still open, I'll close them for him and leave him there.
Should we burn them? Bury?
No, leave him.
Since he was pointing at the barrage,
Barrage.
The barrage of what?
Yeah, the barrage of what?
Those arrows.
Barrage of arrows. The cat's the only one who saw him coming.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks.
It was an elaborate reuse, guys.
the barge. Quick question, because English is hard. What's a barge?
A barge?
It's like a pier.
Barge.
A barge?
It's a
flat.
It's a boat, kind of like a raft. It's usually for transporting cargo.
Mm.
They can have like a lower deck, but mostly a barge is just like it's like a
So it's
flatbed
like a
boat.
ship.
Yeah.
It's like okay, so imagine.
Have you seen
about-
those? Have you seen those really flat? They kind of look like just rafts, and they have a bunch of trash on them. Like in big cities, they
Or
have
containers.
So they go
or
under the
Connex
bridges that go like
boxes.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Connex boxes, things like that. Those are barges.
It's
Yeah.
meant.
Okay.
It's just a
They're for
goods
transportation.
transporting ship. It's
Okay,
not really
okay.
a person, much of a
Exactly.
person ship.
So since he was pointing at the barge,
BARG. Barge.
the barge, I kind of want to get a little bit closer and see, and I look back to the group and say, I'm not gonna get too close, but I'm just gonna check it out. If the dead man was pointing towards it, says something was coming out of the water. Is that right, Aquarius? That's what he said to you?
Yeah, said there was. So whatever it was came out of the water.
I want to go. I want to at least be 20 feet away from it, and I just want to try and see with my pretty kitty eyes what I can see. If there's anything there, anything moving.
You don't see anything moving. It just looks like material is being transported.
Is there a rock? Like I try to look on the floor and trying to see if I can
No,
throw
you're out
something.
on the pier.
Body parts.
You're over the water right now.
Okay, what's the closest body?
The closest body? You don't see one.
You're
So I,
terrible.
okay, I try to look around and try and find something to pick up.
Okay. So do you walk back to the dock to find something to throw at it, and then walk back out to the pier?
Yes. If I have to go
Alright,
that
so you go
far,
back.
yeah.
You guys watch. The cat
Yeah.
walks out to the water,
She's
puts
got
her
a
hands on her
plan.
hips. She kind of looks around, and then goes. It comes back up to the dock, picks up a rock, and
Like a
shows
huge
it to
rock.
you, a big old rock, and walks back, prances back down there, and then just throws it. And you hear a crack as it hits and bounces off a couple of times, and then nothing happens immediately, but you feel like you heard somebody say something.
I'd love to go take a
What
look.
did it hit?
No, it hit probably a box or a crate.
Alright, I
On
just
the boat.
walk over to where the barge is tied up. I get on the fucking thing.
I hope
I
you
walk a little
trip.
closer, but I don't step on
Don't
it.
be a sourpuss, alright? It's not that big a deal.
I'm gonna hit you when you have a spell on. I'm gonna see if you're gonna have the same face.
I don't think you guys realize there's dead bodies everywhere.
I don't think you realize how expensive this was. That this just cost me.
Learn how to cast magic without cost.
Some things require components.
So as you go out on the barge, you can definitely hear that there's like two people talking to each other coming from somewhere in there. But it sounds like it's coming from inside one of the crates, not from like anywhere on the outside.
So it's like under a canvas or something?
Yeah.
Let's start following towards
I'll
them.
pull the canvas off.
Yeah, so you pull it off, and you see that there's two people hiding under there, and they're like huddled together. there's like an older man and a younger woman, and they see you, and he immediately puts up his hands. He's like, "Oh, wait, don't kill us!"
So, I hold up my hand, and out of the palm, like it starts as a crystal, and then forms into a sword, and I just, who are you, and what happened?
We were being transported. We paid to get on the barge. They were taking us down to Brethor. We're making our way to Roenheim.
Can I tell if they're lying?
Make an insight check.
19.
It seems like he's being pretty truthful. He's scared out of his mind, and the girl's completely mute. She doesn't say nothing. She's just kind of like hiding behind him. He looks like he's about 50 or so years old. She looks like she's probably in her early, maybe 20s or so.
That's
It seems like
fantastic,
he's telling the truth.
but not the answer to either question. Who are you? What happened here?
I mean, my name is Kaltor, and this is Benura, and it's a long story, and I really think that we should get away from the water first before whatever it was comes back and finishes us all off, and that's where we're gonna take a break.
Right.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick 15-minute break. Get snacks, use the restroom.
Take the puppy
In
outside.
general, take the puppy outside. Get away from the table for a minute. But we'll be back in 15 minutes. So see you right away. Actually, before we go, huge donation, $200
Huge.
from Steve Warhite.
What?
The Warhide,
Yeah, Steve
$200.
Warhite. Dude, you're
Whoa.
awesome. Thanks for
Whoa.
the donation.
Jiminy Christmas.
Alex can probably get you my contact information, and we can maybe go over what you would like to
Jeez.
happen in the game. So get a hold of Alex, and we can find a way to
That's awesome.
figure out what we want. We'll
Get a
work
hold
on
of him
that
during the
together.
break.
And
so
that makes you stream boss, I believe, right?
Stream boss.
That makes
Stream
you
boss.
Top
Yes.
donator,
Top
biggest
donator,
supporter.
Yeah.
biggest supporter.
A lot of
So,
everything, that's
Jesus.
for sure.
So thanks a bunch, man. We really
Wow.
appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Stream boss mechanic is really cool, by the way.
Oh,
That
wow.
was newly implemented, so you guys are gonna have, if you want to take it away from him, you're gonna have to fight him for it.
Please.
What,
Yes, with
Please
monies.
fight him for it.
So I don't even know.
Just wait till he goes invisible and you just
I'll go
punch him
over
in the
it.
chest.
I have liberty.
But anyways, we're gonna take a short 15-minute intermission or so, and we'll be right back. All right, see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm not ready for it.
Wait, I'm not ready for this.
Way too much pressure now.
Yeah, way too much
I'm
pressure.
ready.
Way too much pressure.
Way too much pressure.
Oh, shit.
Death awaits on you.
Death awaits.
Death awaits.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. Everybody's hanging out on Twitch. Thanks for the follows. We picked up a couple of extra followers tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks to the people watching on Mixer. You guys are great.
Yeah.
Toss us a follow if you can. We have all of our social medias and stuff. We should have links on both our Twitch page and our Mixers. If you're
We
interested in the content that we are providing you with and you think we're entertaining or you just want to make fun of us, well, either way, I don't care. You can go drop us some follows on our Twitter account, our Facebook, so you can get updates when we're going live, or if there's any kind of, maybe if we need to take a break or something's happening or we have to start late. Anyways, updates and stuff, you can go through our social media accounts. Yeah, we also have a Tumblr as well, I believe. I don't know
Yep.
if that's listed anywhere, is it?
No, that one's not listed.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's Legendary Action.
Yep.
Right? Not
Legendary
Legendary Action Official at
It's
Tumblr.
legendary action.
Yeah, so we're on Tumblr as well. We post on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook whenever
Soon
we're
to be
going live,
Insta.
and possibly Instagram and possibly a Snapchat later down the road. But yeah, go and check us out. YouTube as well. We upload the videos. We've been doing them on Thursdays before Fridays. But I think we might want to change that around
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. But we're working on it. But episodes 1 through 4 are on our YouTube channel, so you can go drop a follow on there, check it out, or subscribe. I don't know. These terms are all interchangeable at this point. Follows and likes and subscribes and
Do stuff.
whatever, and
Track us.
yeah, track us. Just follow us, stalk us.
Watch us every day.
Stalking.
All day.
Mhm.
Consume my very essence.
Ooh,
Can we give another shout out to
Too
the
dark,
Bearded
too dark.
family, Jexus, for giving us the host, dude. We appreciate it. Yeah, so just tell all your friends, you know, especially on Mixer, since it's D&D is new to the platform. We're basically the only D&D show, legitimate show on Mixer. Yeah, go tell everybody, like, hey man, D&D is on Mixer. Go check out Legendary Action. You know, we
Yeah.
appreciate it. Just
Yeah.
spread the word around, help, you know, with the exposure, help grow the community. It's a big part of it. It's one of the reasons that we're streaming on Mixer to begin with. We want to see the community grow. We want to see more streams open up, and you know, and stuff like this, like tabletop gaming, just be more prevalent.
Yeah.
You know, we want it to be the same way as on Twitch. We want people to come and have variation of different shows and things they can watch other than just PUBG.
And also, Mixer supports interactives.
Yeah, and the interactive buttons. So that's one of the reasons we're on there as well. That's a big reason because Twitch doesn't have that, unfortunately, for the time being. So if you want to interact and build up sparks and push buttons and buy like magic items in the store and you're on Twitch, you know, yeah, chances are you already have a Mixer account because if you're already playing on PC or on Xbox, you know, it's connected to Microsoft. So you just go in and pop, there's your gamer tag. You already have a Mixer account. You can come start pushing buttons and stuff and buying characters advantage, disadvantage, and interacting with the game's mechanics more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, go ahead and check that out if you're interested. But so you're standing there on the barge.
The barrage.
Yeah, the barrage. And the guy has his hands up still, and he's,
Counter.
you know, and he finished. We should get off the water before it comes back and whatever it was and kills everybody.
All right. Well, they're obviously not a threat, right?
I mean, you don't see any weapons on them or anything.
You might have to let him out of the cage.
They're not in the cage.
They're not in the cage.
Oh,
They're
they're
just
not.
hiding.
Oh, they're hiding
They're in
in a
books.
box cage.
Books.
So
I'm carefully observing the water just to ensure that all those three are safe.
Okay.
Because I'm not on the barge.
Can hearing him say the water and like hearing it brought up again while they're talking, can I do a perception check to see if I see anything in the water moving or anything else like that?
Go ahead.
12.
Looks flat and calm.
Don't like this.
Hmm.
You should totally.
all right. So I hold out a hand to help him out of the box,
Okay.
and
So
then,
he grabs your hand and pull him out.
Yeah.
And the girl comes next.
I actually drop the sword. And when it hits, it shatters and then just kind of evaporates, like when you pour nitrogen on the ground.
Just shatters.
Yep.
Cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Looking fancy over there. I like
Oh,
it.
scholar.
I like it.
Scholar my ass.
I like it.
What do you know? Magic is magic, right?
No.
Everyone has different things they can do.
No.
Sure. Anyway, yeah, I like getting off the boat.
Agreed. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, who's still on the dock right now?
Oh,
All right.
me?
All right. Well, I start with the young girl, and I like help her up to you.
Yeah, reach down.
Well, I'm right there too, so I reach out too, so she can grab two hands because I'm standing by you.
I'm helping.
Then I.
I mean, I was standing talking shit to him and glaring at him the whole time because he hit me and I was near him when he got down. So I'm there.
Fair enough. Glare away. I'm gonna investigate some of the crates and stuff to see what they're moving.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Investigation check? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Drugs.
I hope so.
More enhancement.
I swear to Christ. Investigation. So that's a 19.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, private eye, man. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I've got experience in this
Elementary.
sort of thing.
Not your first barge.
Nope. Not my first smuggler. All right. So I just start ripping off, like, tearing canvases
Yeah, it looks
off.
like it's there's cases of like ale, spices, fruits. You don't see anything that stands out as terribly legal in there.
This isn't right. Who smuggles this sort of nonsense?
She says it's smuggling.
Finley.
Maybe they're not smuggling. Maybe they're not full-time smugglers. Maybe they transport legitimately and then smuggle on the side. The best way to hold an operation is to have a front.
No, if there really isn't something deeper than just food and drink on this barge, then they're criminals, and that's why they need to be transported in secret.
Or you can remember we were sent here by a fucking goblin.
He also makes a valid point.
A goblin that hasn't lied to us so far probably has cheated us, but not lied.
Trying to lull us into a false sense of security.
Look, most goblins barely can speak, and this one is smart enough to,
Talk
well,
and negotiate.
have some.
Hurry up with your business over there.
All right, fine. So, I want to dig deeper and see if there's anything more interesting than food and drink.
Okay.
Still on guard.
Oh, that's good. 10.
10. I mean, you pull out a lot of the food and the grain and stuff, and just general food goods, and a lot of the ale, and pull them out. You try to search for like false bottoms or spaces. You stomp around the barge, just looking for any kind of hidden compartments, but it doesn't seem like there's anything more to the barge than that. Than what's already on it.
All right. Well, I grab 2 bottles of ale and then I head back to the dock. I toss one at the orc.
Oh,
And then one at the bard.
oh, I'll take it.
Who's not? I hope you catch it.
I did toss it.
I've been
So
staring.
who walked the man and the woman back up to the? Because you were searching, you guys walked them up,
Yeah.
and you were up there as well, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
I was by the barge, just making,
Yeah, you were with
Keeping
Bryce,
an eye.
correct?
keeping an eye out.
Yeah. Just looking around, surveying the water,
Yeah.
making sure anything moves. You're just like, what was that? Fish splashing. It's gonna kill us all. So you over
Is everybody off the barge now?
No, I'm on it.
Yeah, he's on it, still searching it. But
I'm near it.
and so as you guys go up or whatever, you come up and you bring the girl and the guy up. You know, the old man's just like, thank God that we're like that thing, whatever it was, is gone. And the girl, she looks over at Luthok and immediately begins to like cower and shrink away from him, like right away. You just see like terror come over her eyes, and she gets real dour and real quiet and starts to slowly like back away from him, and she like goes behind the old man. And he's just like, I'm sorry, she doesn't do well with like orcs or their kind, and it makes sense considering how long she was being held captive by them. So she's gonna. It's best if he just stays away from her. I don't need her to, scream or cause a scene.
I don't have anything to do with your little girl. I don't give a damn about her.
So I walk up, lightly seeing this, and I kind of lower myself. Is she short? How short is she?
Yeah, she's like 5'7".
I kind of lean in, like not lean in, but like lean forward, and I say, "This might help. Look back at my friend Luthok."
Yeah, she refuses to. She just keeps
And
looking
then-
at her feet, like
And
down.
then I kind of wave my hand as anytime she looks at Luthok now, she'll see a gentleman of equal height using minor illusion, just kind of making a wavering illusion on his face that kind of gives him a more human face. Like he's not blue, he has like brown hair. It just changes his skin tone and makes everything kind of just phase a little bit into more of a human skin tone. Just in case you have to look at him. He
Is she aware that you're of the spell when you cast it?
Yeah.
Are they aware it's an illusion, or do they have to make a save throw?
I believe they have to actually have to make a save if I use it like this. Let me double check that.
You cast magic against people's wills again.
Doing some magic plastic surgery over there.
Well, you are
You're
ugly.
trying
What
to
are
say
you
I'm
casting?
not beautiful.
Minor illusion.
Yeah.
Create a separate object with
No.
the range to last duration.
It can't move, but if you cast it on an object that is moved,
They have
I don't
to.
know how that works.
So they see what I want them to see, but they can spend In action, to examine the sound or image, the creature can determine that it's an illusion with a successful intelligence check.
So it's their perception, not like an actual.
Yeah.
power.
So I changed her. I just waved my hand and I was like, Luthok, if you could just stand there and not move much, it'd help this along a little bit. Made you appear a little bit more.
What I'm asking is that
Is
she's
she
already
aware?
well aware of the fact that he's an orc.
Yeah.
Or looks like one. So, is it like Charm, where they have no idea that something has changed? So they're
No.
Because it doesn't take much to know that she was looking at an orc and now she's looking at a person.
They would have to
Yeah, I
look
mean-
at their environment and perceive that it's changed.
Yeah. So if like she doesn't look up and look at him, nothing has changed for her. If she looks up, she'll see a non-orc.
It also won't work like Charm, where she just believes that he's human now.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there
Oh,
no
no.
point to casting it then?
No,
No.
not necessarily,
Maybe calm
unless
down.
you decide that there is.
He was trying to remove the visual trauma.
The visual trigger.
Like she would
of
still
her.
know, which is almost like worse.
So like it's the idea that like her fear is in front of her. I'm trying to alleviate some of
No,
that.
I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to decide.
How it's gonna work?
I want to save you a spell slot if I can.
It's not a spell. It's a cantrip.
Minor illusions cantrip?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it's for small objects and stuff.
Yeah.
it's 5 foot cube,
Yeah. So it's just like
Oh, okay. That's fine then.
I believe. Actually, I think it just says.
Yeah,
it's a 5 foot.
Alright,
Is
I
it
mean,
a
she
5
doesn't
foot?
respond to you at all. And she just continues to, like, cower and sit there. For the most part. So what are you doing on the barge?
I'm just watching for water action.
Okay, what are you doing on the barge?
Reagan, are you
No, I was doing my
done?
thing. Yeah, if I'm done, I'm getting off.
Okay. So you guys both go back to the dock?
But I'm kind of like on his back. He walks forward. I'm in the back, just watching the water.
Okay.
I have her shirt.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Alright, so you make your way back up to the dock.
All right, cool.
I don't get what that guy was. You said he was pointing. He was pointing at the barge. The direction of the hand was towards the barge.
Well, maybe he meant the water past the barge.
I think he meant
I think
he
he
wanted
meant-
us to save these people. He was talking about regrets. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's no immediate danger, but I don't like the feel.
We should go.
It's just spooky out here.
But while we go, describe the thing that attacked this place.
Well, I couldn't see it. I was hidden underneath the tarp in the back. All I heard was the slaying and the shouting and the fighting, and then the disgusting sounds of whatever it was tearing people apart.
Just one thing? Multiple?
It sounded like it was multiple things.
Girl, did you see anything?
Piranha
She
people.
doesn't even make eye contact with you. She just continues to walk and staring at her feet with her hands like in front of her. Just
It's piranha people.
What? That sounds made up. That's not a thing.
Well, if anything,
Sounds
the
like
further,
it could be a thing. Piranha people
the further away from
There's
water,
cat
the
people.
better.
and lizard people.
Dragon people.
Tabat.
Yeah.
People.
Dragonborn.
People.
Yeah, and people people.
Elf people.
Long-eared people. No.
So why not piranha people?
Look, they could be out there, but I've never seen them.
I've heard of fish people. It's not that big of a step from it.
But either
No,
way,
those are the same thing. A piranha's a fish.
Well, well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
They're more aggressive.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, piranha people.
Anyway, we should leave. I think our job is done.
I cast a firebolt at the water.
at the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it hits the water, just fizzles.
Did I see any shadows?
So, old man, you were under the tarp the whole time.
Ever since the men on the ferry told us to get down to avoid detection.
Detection from the gray caps, the
Jacks.
gray jacks, the gray detection from them.
Yeah.
But aren't they smugglers too? Why they gotta hide it from other smugglers? Or not smugglers?
I don't know anything about these Greyjacks. We bartered passage with Glint's Liberators in Last Bastion, and we got from Last Bastion to Anvil by foot on carriage, and then we got to the river in Anvil and came down here.
What makes you fugitives?
I'm not a fugitive, and neither is she.
What are you running from?
Her past, her owners.
So fugitive.
No, not in the way that you would think.
All right.
We're not fugitives of the law. We're not fleeing anything unlawful. I'm not a wanted man, and she's not a wanted woman anywhere.
Well, you're wanted
Okay, then
by your
what makes-
captors, but we understand what you mean.
No,
You're not-
not captors. No, nobody captured anybody who didn't want
More
to be captured.
specifically, what makes you refugee then?
Refugee is probably closer to the truth.
Sure. But any more specific than someone's past?
Yeah, what's going on at Last Bastion?
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just nothing anymore. Not since the Orc Wars ended. There's always trouble on the frontier lands in the Meridian Expanse, but it's just where Glint's Liberators operate from. It's their home base.
Are these guys like a guild, like an adventuring guild or something like that, or?
She was an orc slave, yeah?
Yes, she was.
That would explain the reaction.
She was taken from our home when she was about 4 years old, or 5. It's hard to remember now, and I paid a lot of money for somebody to track her down and take her back, and that's what they did. And they brought her back.
So
20
They
years.
killed all the orcs that got in their way.
20 years later.
So the same men that liberate slaves and have liberator in their names are supplying smugglers with food and drink?
Or these are not the same. Or the smugglers are not. Right. Or these aren't the smugglers.
All I was told is that they had to make a stop, and then from here we would continue to Breathorp and into Rowenheim. And safety.
Did any other men arrive other than these men that were on the barge?
Everybody. We heard talking for a while, for about 10 minutes or maybe 10-15 minutes or so before whatever it was started tearing them apart. Everybody was killed. The people who were manning the barge are dead. Everybody's dead.
Would that be
Let's go
like
get
the
paid.
most direct route?
Huh?
Would that be like the most direct route from where they were trying to get
The river would
from
be faster
to?
than traveling by horse.
I meant where them stopping right there and then continuing on to where they're trying to get to. Would that be an appropriate stop, or
It's a river.
is there any reason for them to stop there other than for something more specific? Like, would there have been a better stop to get them closer down the river?
Well, they stopped here to get rid of the stuff on the barge and then continue with the ferry.
Yeah, any of the
Okay.
stuff, any of the goods that were either going to Greencrest, they would have got dropped off here, and the barge would keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just a waypoint, convenient.
Just one of their
Abandoned.
stops, and that happened to go bad.
Possibly.
What it appears to be from
Yeah.
the story, at
Yeah.
least.
That's what it appears to be, yeah. It appears to be that they stopped to do something or do business, and then everybody was killed, and
Yeah.
they were left on the boat hiding, the barge
Okay.
hiding. Yeah.
And then you
But
determined
it
how
is a
long were
halfway
they
point
dead?
between
About an hour.
Anvil and
About an hour.
Breathorp, so yeah.
Okay. And with them being dead for only like an hour, that would add up.
Listen, I buy the idea that probably one of the safer ways to get around anywhere is probably with a group of armed individuals, and heck, might just be smugglers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, just because they do a good thing doesn't mean they're capable of crime. Probably funds their less than profitable free the slaves ideas. Anyway.
Should we get back?
Yeah, let's go get paid for work we barely had to do.
We want to go back to camp and spend the night.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
we-
I'm a bit tired.
this is really late.
Yeah, my arm hurts.
Shouldn't. I didn't hit you that hard. It was mostly the surprise that got you, I think.
There's a bruise.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you guys
look at
make your
his
way back
skin.
towards camp, a light wind picks up and the moon gets darkened out as it starts to rain once more. You know, coming with the weather and the changing into springtime. It's just really wet in the Central Vale at this time of year, real temperate. And
Oh yeah.
you spend the night trying to pitch tents and out in the fields and keep dry for the most part.
I don't have a tent.
You're probably used to sleeping in with nothing over your head, with your back up against another dragonborn's back,
Yeah.
tail to tail.
Hey,
as it
you
were.
guys have tents?
I have a big tent.
Wow.
Wow, that's neat.
There's always room in my big tent.
One big tent.
Yeah,
one
I
big
agree with
dragon.
I think it's yeah.
Do I have a tent? I don't think
I'm
I
just
have.
gonna sleep with the horses.
Okay.
I have a tent that can fit at least 4 people.
I'm
So
sleeping
who's
with the
taking
horses.
first watch
They're
overnight?
gonna bug you.
I'll take first watch.
I'll not.
Dibs. Dibs. I call dibs. My nightly right of dibs. I call it.
Do you have dark vision?
I don't need dark vision.
I'll
I
pair
can
up
hear
with
them.
him.
I can smell them.
I will.
Yeah, I
stay
can't do any of that. I'm grouping up with him.
Okay.
My feet hot.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll stay up with him so that way.
No. You have dark vision. You go with someone else.
He doesn't have dark vision either.
Yeah,
I can
but
hear
he can
them.
hear and smell. I can't do
hear
shit.
them. I can smell them.
Go with
I
him.
can see them.
Yeah, that's one sense.
Paired. The 3 watches with 3 set with.
I'm not
sets
pairing with the ugly orc.
Whoa.
I will pair with you.
We'll have. I'm sorry, Luthok. Forgive our abrasive friend.
I'll go with you, Levok.
There we go.
I'm not abrasive, he's
Can you see in
rude.
the dark?
I just tell it how it is.
How many humans have you come across that can see in the dark?
I saw you cast demonic from your hands. I don't know what type of god you
It was
sucked off
not
to get that.
demonic. It's just magic.
I saw you throw a
If
skull.
he focused hard enough, he could turn that little fireball thing he does into a snowball.
It would still be fire.
He's
No,
no, it would be a
literally,
snowball.
you can change things because you want them to look different. Every magician knows that.
What?
You should too.
No.
He-
Sounds made up.
He is right.
I just
Magic is very bendable and weavable.
Yeah, you turned
With
invisible.
enough practice.
Was that demonic invisible?
Absolutely.
Put my hand on my
Yeah,
head.
can you feel specific magics? Huh? Can you tell one fireball from someone else's? Like, that was definitely Lucian's fireball.
I don't care what kind of fireball
might.
it is. Keep the fuck away from me.
Stop it. You know that's not true.
Well, you might.
You're a bard. You're supposed to be learned in this sort of thing.
I'm learning a lot of things.
You learned in too many things because obviously it's not quite there with anything.
I'm a jack of all trades. I know
Master
a little
of
bit of
none.
everything
Yeah.
and everything knows a little bit
Yeah,
about me.
master of none. Exactly.
Alright, well,
Master of all,
I
master
can't
of none, good at
explain.
some, good at nothing.
I can't explain why my magic makes you uncomfortable. If it suits my style.
Do you need a
I'm
safe
not saying
space?
it's a bad thing. I just you said you were a scholar for the first week I knew
Did
you.
you guys anybody attempt to make a campfire and
Yeah, sure.
cover it and protect it from the rain?
Oh, who needs to
What
protect
do you
it?
guys
You just
think?
keep lighting it over.
I
and
definitely did not because it's raining, so I just pitched my tent, offered it to those two family members, and anyone else who wanted to bunk in with it because it's all I had.
I
What-
have fur.
Where'd we pitch tent? Or where'd
And
we
ponies.
pitch camp? Sorry.
Same place you left the horses.
Yeah, like what's the area look
Fur.
like?
Like overgrown
I have
field
fur.
and such in ruins. You guys found the spot that was used to be an old farm.
So
It
cool.
doesn't really have much.
So we
of a
can
roof
get out
or
of the
anything.
rain,
Yeah, no, not really.
ish.
There's not much. Can I
You get out of the wind, but not really the
Can we
rain.
find a spot underneath a piece of roof that isn't being fucking bombarded with water to set up the fire?
I mean, yeah, you can try. That's why I was asking if anybody.
Can I actually can I just use my tent cover to hook it in the wall and hook 2 pieces in the wall and hang it down with
Sure.
a big rock so that way it makes a lean-to
A
away
tarp.
from the weather. A
Sure,
tarp,
yeah, tarp,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you
A
for
tarp.
being smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, I want to
You
do
do the
that.
best you can. You kind of get
A tarp.
out of the rain a little bit. It
Yeah.
helps. It's not really downpouring. It's just
Sprinkling.
lightly raining.
Where are our guests sleeping? Anyone consider that?
On the
Yes,
floor.
in my tent.
Oh,
They're
in the tent.
sleeping on the
in his
floor.
little makeshift
In my lean-to.
Oh,
We'll
Alright,
just
so-
we'll just put up the lean-to. We'll lay down a bunch of bedrolls. We'll group huddle.
Yeah.
We
I'm
got
not the worst.
That's actually exactly what we're gonna do. 'Cause
No,
it's
you
fucking
guys
cold
can
out here.
all
It
be
works.
in your tents and stuff. I'm hanging out with the horses.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
You have
it
fur.
was-
We're not concerned about your
Look, the
walls.
horses are gonna nibble at your fur, just as warning.
That's okay.
And it. All right.
It's only right around like 10 p.m. or still. It's still early
Yeah.
at night for the most part.
All right. To continue our conversation,
Yes.
not everyone is born with. Very few people are actually born with magic. You have to be a scholar, study to learn it.
Everyone can do magic, sir.
Right.
I can't.
If you study and become a scholar. I haven't been doing it long, but I have been a scholar for a while.
Lies. I completely believe you, I promise.
You know, it's just because elves have this lack of. You just can't fathom that a human can learn the same magic in a quarter of your life.
My father was human, thank you very much.
Alright, whatever. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm on board with you,
Elves
Rackin'.
have a certain
Elves
amount
don't know shit.
Elves have a certain amount of, I don't know, superiority.
Oh, I know. My mother only visited me like once every 2 years.
That's because she forgot how much time she was spending away from you, thinking, "Oh, I've got another 1,000 to go. He'll be fine."
Talk about mama.
I really think you just like brought
He
up
now
some
has
like
mommy
deep,
issues.
deep-presented sadness from me, and I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna hug you.
Don't hug.
And I begin slightly weeping on your shoulder. now.
Don't
Hug woman.
Alright, fine.
I don't let go.
I guess this is happening now.
They're cuddling.
Cuddling.
Yeah.
I hug Riken.
You're
and kindly
totally
weep
right.
into his shoulder.
He really is.
I'm sorry I punched you.
What?
Him.
I
He
miss
really
my
is.
mother.
Surprisingly, really, the cold doesn't bother you nearly as much. You almost have kind of like an internal like warmth just from being a dragonborn, and a red one especially. You know, with fire breath. So
I
the
will spoon
internal,
the fuck out of
the
you.
internal like biology of and how your fire breath actually works and stuff. You're actually kind of have a warm temperature in your body.
Yeah, my core temperature always
Yeah.
stayed high. So.
Yeah.
I go
Yeah, I'm
off
a little
on my
spoon
own
your shit.
in the corner and I use my shield and some of my other junk to make a crappy version of a tent. Super crappy.
So who's taking first watch?
Me and Lucian.
An orc tent.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'm gonna stay cuddling with Riken. then.
Yeah, me and Lucian.
Yeah. The man and his daughter like go into like the furthest kind of corner that they can and take the like
Corner
leftover
children.
like blankets.
Did they try
and
to
stuff
set up
and-
their own fire?
No,
for
they're
themselves?
in the other one that might. We gotta keep
Are
fire as minimal and
Are
low.
are they close enough to the fire that they're getting the warmth
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah.
Okay.
With the fire and the flames.
I
That's
take
what
up
good now.
the old
Thank
tradition.
you. Oh my god, thank you. Yes.
I
yeah.
And I follow you.
I would like to also
Alright.
make sure
And then I laugh.
that if I see them like shivering
Also-
throughout the night, that I'll cast prestidigitation on them to give them the sensation of warmth,
Mhm.
and then put more blankets on them or something,
Okay.
so that they can stay asleep through the night.
All right. So you guys all, make your meals, make camp, set, kind of chat for a little while and stuff as the night gets in later into the night. Slowly but surely, it starts to pour and starts to rain more and more. You start to hear the distant cracks of thunder and the flashes of lightning further in the distance, miles away from you. And then let's get the rolls for the first watch.
Ooh.
15.
I don't know what my perception is. It's flat, so 16.
So 16. Night goes by. The hours of your watch pass by quietly. Once you guys have to go restoke the fire, as it starts to kind of get squelched by the cold and the water that sometimes runs through his makeshift lean-to and tent and drips onto it, putting it out. But for the most part, nothing happens. Your watch goes by uneventfully.
Terrowyn,
Yeah. What do you want?
time for your guys' watch.
Shit. Fine. I'm up. I'm up. I'm up.
God, it got worse. Okay, sounds good.
Oh. Riken. Right there.
Fine. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, watch time.
All right. Oh, good. Solid.
Even better.
Oh, good. Solid. got
an 8.
I got a 1.
Oh,
Yeah, I fell that easily.
So Finley shows up. I see you guys did good work.
So,
I wish Finley was the least of our worries.
Yeah.
so as the night goes through, you each take your turns, like going up to the edge of this really small ruins and looking outwards across the plains, looking as far as you can with your dark vision,
Or not.
not seeing much. But you find it hard. Both of you find it difficult to stay awake. You're both drained. You haven't cast the spell earlier, trying to recover. And there's a crack of lightning every once in a while in the distance, and bright enough that it lights up like your immediate vicinity. And at one point, you look as you're looking out and kind of looking up towards the rain. You see a crack of lightning, and you see the silhouette of a large creature fly past. And the silhouette lightning cracks again, and once again it illuminates the vast wingspan of some sort of dragon as it's flying through the rain ever eastward, following the storm. And then you feel the downdraft of the wind as it just hits downwards from its wings, pushing everything aside and wakes everybody up. You guys all feel this blast of cool air as this air gets pushed downwards, and it just continues flying eastward.
Holy shit.
What the fuck was that?
That was a fucking dragon.
We don't know
Is it
that.
snowing? It's cold.
What do you mean? That was a fucking dragon.
It could have been.
I saw a dragon.
Are you
Did you guys
sure?
fall asleep again?
Nope.
Yes.
I saw a dragon in the lightning.
Absolutely.
What color?
I couldn't see. I only saw it when the lightning cracked, and I was able to see the fluorescent glow of the scales.
Damn.
It shined like I've never seen.
Are you sure it's a dragon, or are you sure it's clouds? 'Cause
Bars.
clouds can look like
We
dragons.
saw a silhouette in the lightning. It was large and it had wings.
I thought you were asleep. What? You're
If
lying.
It was large and it had wings and it blew that hard. It's hard not to believe the
It
bard.
was-
It's a dragon.
What else grows that?
I just mean,
What else
I'm
grows
giving the
big
bard
enough?
shit for, a silhouette in the dark suddenly becomes a shining beacon of power and majesty.
It's called.
Embellishment.
It's called majesticness.
My word was better. Who's the bard here? I'm going back to bed.
Fine.
Uh,
Sleep, asshole.
Well,
I-
since we're
Do y'all know
waiting-
how much of my watch is left? Who's next?
Well, I fixed the tent and the lean-to. The shit all blew down.
Look, I'm wet.
Yeah, you're gonna stay wet if you don't fix it.
Yeah. Alright,
I
fine.
helped the Dragonborn fix it.
That was a lot of displaced air fucking that came through. Fuck, I've never seen a dragon.
Oh, are these?
Not an adult.
These are Twitch.
You see babies?
I haven't seen babies either.
Middle-aged
I mean, I've
teenagers?
seen statues. I've seen
Oh.
life-size statues.
Okay, you phrased it like you've seen like a teenage dragon. I was
No.
very curious.
Well, enough of their dragon talk. You ready for our watch, there, buddy?
suppose so. My pile of junk blew over anyway.
Yeah. So you guys, what was it?
I wanted to ask one more question. Hey, what direction was it going?
East.
What's east?
Yeah, the range of thunder.
The range of thunder? According to storm.
Like,
It's totally illegible.
So you guys
Don't
fix
be-
up camp, you restoke the fire, rebuild it again. You calm the old man and the woman who were startled by what had happened in the sudden blast of air, and you explain, not wanting to completely just unnerve them with how the kind of state she's already in. That you explain that sometimes in these large storms you get downdrafts of air that are sometimes capable of knocking over light buildings and stuff. And it wasn't that strong, but there was nothing to be worried about. And then later, at the end of your watch, about an hour or so before it ends, you end up having to calm the girl. She wakes up like screaming. You know, the old man does his best to like calm her and shush her and talk to her and explain to her that she's okay and she's not where she used to be, and there's no reason for her to be afraid anymore. You know, and then it takes about 20 minutes or so, but eventually he puts her back to sleep, and then your guys' watch ends, and it's time for your guys' watch. Can you get your rolls?
And now my watch is ended.
You may rest.
That's a solid 1 and a 5.
Yeah, 5 plus 3.
5.
8.
5.
5.
God, we
So-
are just killing it.
Near the end of your watch, the rain kind of breaks and the storm completely passes, leaving just the ground wet, soggy, and muddy. And you see,
Thunder range.
when kind of looking around and exploring near camp alleyways, maybe about 50 feet away from camp or so, you find these large indented footprints in the ground that had just sunk into them. And just kind of counting, it seems like 2 very large and heavy creatures had passed nearby at some point.
How big?
Were they fish prints?
Big.
Piranha people big.
No, they look humanoid.
Like ballpark.
Medium, large.
Large, probably about
Like 5 to 6
5
feet
feet
wide.
wide.
Damn. That's a Bigfoot.
I go up to it and I'm like, what's up? Give me your foot real quick.
My foot.
Yeah.
You follow them for a little bit, but then you end up kind of straying a little bit too far from camp, and you guys begin to get like uncomfortable with like walking out into the dim light, and with all the ruins and the dense grass and overgrowth in the area, you're not necessarily sure where they disappear to.
I've shown my foot.
So you err on the side of caution that they could still be nearby, so you don't want to follow them too far.
Well, I just go up to the footprint and I have his foot next to it, and I'm like, what do you know that's bigger than you? That's this
Well, there are a
foot.
lot of things that are bigger.
That's a great question. What do you know about that's bigger than you? I love it. That's totally what Tabaxi would say.
There's lots of stuff, like ogres, giants. Yeah.
Well,
There's
looking at the
trolls.
footprint, do I see if it has any like claws, or is it like a human foot, like a
Make a survival check.
or like it's scales, like
Make
fish?
a survival check.
Yeah, 20, modified 20.
You can tell they're not barefoot, but they're definitely wearing some sort of like sandal or soft cloth underneath their feet.
Oh, definitely a giant. Or something.
We were attacked by giants before.
Now, are they like mandals? Or like real shoes?
You're not sure. You can tell that it's not bare feet.
He's not sure.
It's
He's
some
not
sort
there.
of it's some sort of basic footwear.
It's mud, not a cast.
Well, all right. Looks
not
like
for an orc.
Looks like we had some big friendly company. Want to head on back? Yeah, sounds good. Okay, bye. You go back.
Wait, don't leave me out here to get fucking wrecked by something big.
Follow after.
Yeah, so the cat Tabaxi just starts darting off using all four paws.
He like-
Takes
Oh,
off,
shit, it's
bounding
like-
through the
like a
light
cartoon
rain
where
and the
it leaves a
leftover
silhouette
drips
on
and
the right.
droplets as the light
You
starts
see
to
her like
break
her hair
over
like sit there and then it falls.
the gray spires and light the central veil.
And I kind of want to skid back into the camp.
Getting muddy.
Yeah. Spraying mud all over the place.
Guys, there's something huge, bigger than Ulflock out there. We think it's a giant, has sandals. I think we should probably go. Let's go.
Oh, Lumi, what the
And light
fuck?
is just starting to break over the mountains, so it's like 5 a.m. or something like that.
Well, thank you. There's
Why would you
danger.
leave
I
me
got-
out there like that?
Thank you, there's danger. I
You
got the
can
sword.
handle
I'll
yourself.
fucking
I
jump
run.
up and grab my sword. What?
That's
Where?
what
Giants?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, we were attacked by giants before.
Where? Huh?
There's footprints. It was close by. We should probably go. Time to move. Let's go. Let's pack everything. Come on, let's go. Gotta go back to Green Crest. Gotta go.
Wait a minute, how big? Like, wait a minute, like.
So Ulfalk's foot was about this big. Like, it was about this big. Has sandals.
This big?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking with me.
You can go out there if you want.
I go out there.
Alright, so you go out there, you see exactly what she described. You see these really large, almost humanoid shaped
Oh, dude,
footprints.
I just walk back in. I look him dead in the fucking eyes, and I go, "She's not fucking with you."
I know you're fucking with me. I go out there.
Yeah, you see the same thing.
I'm saddling horses now.
Yeah. I
Looks
come
like
back.
at least 2 of them.
I come back reckon they're not fucking with us.
That's why I'm saddling the horse.
So the old man kind of rouses and he comes over. He's like, "What's going on? It's still early.
Oh, nothing.
What's happening?"
Nothing. I just we want to get an early start because we don't want the beast from the water to come out at us. So we just want to leave a little early if possible.
So you see me in the
All right.
background lifting my foot and then saying Bigfoot,
Yeah.
danger.
Yeah.
Ignore the cat.
Alright, well,
I think she got some catnip in
Hold
her.
on,
So
let me wake her and explain to her that we're leaving then and we'll go.
absolutely. And I offer him over a ration, 2 rations, so you guys can eat on the road.
Thank you. I'll see if she's even willing to eat at this point.
Absolutely.